It's It's Wednesday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. The San Juan Broncos won their fourth straight 2A South Region Championship on Friday with a convincing 63-10 whipping of the Delta Rabbits in Blanding. Tonight it's a bit of a bonus game and a very quick turnaround against a team they haven't played in 22 years. We're glad you've joined us. Live from the warm environs of Hurricane, it's the Broncos versus the 4A Tigers. Welcome to Wednesday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, welcome live to Hurricane High School in Hurricane, Utah. Beautiful evening tonight. And it is a lot warmer down here than it is over in San Juan County right now, as fall has actually trying to get started officially over there. But boy, we welcome you in tonight for some Wednesday Night Lights, a real weird middle of the week matchup here on the gridiron. Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you in here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Art, this is just you got the sport turf out here. It's another one of these beautiful fields. And just couldn't be a much better weather here tonight for football.
No, great night, great atmosphere, and a great setting. I love this turf field. The weather's not real hot right now. It was a little hotter. Now the sun's going down. It's cooling off. We both talked to Coach Cowan, and I said, how do you like it over here? And he said, in June and July, it's terrible, but right now I love it.
Well, usually when San Juan plays these teams over here in the southwest corner, it's early in the season. But last year, what was 2 bye weeks in a row, the Broncos had someone who elected to play them this year in a 4A Hurricane team. And so later in the season, the sun is already down. So, yeah, indeed, it's shady out there right now, and that's going to make for some excellent temperatures here tonight as we get set to get this one going. And this is an interesting matchup for San Juan and Hurricane both. Hurricane leads the all-time series 6-4, going back to 1976. That's the year I was born. So that means something to me, maybe. This is their first meeting since 2002, so it has been 22 seasons since these two teams have played, and we've got a little bit of a local tie, at least as far as what we've come to see over the years. I did a lot of years covering Monticello football, and so I saw a ton of Jerry Cowan coached Duchesne teams doing work up in Duchesne, and man, Cowan comes in with a 155-44 all-time record. And with these Hurricane Tigers, he's 3-6 as he's trying to rebuild the team this year.
Yeah, you've called a lot of his games. I've stood on the opposing sideline from him for 8 years,
yeah.
And I think we played him almost every year of those 8 years, and a couple of times we had to travel to Duchesne in the quarterfinals, and he effectively put us out of the playoffs.
Yep.
I had a nice visit with him before the game here, and just trying to do what he did in Duchesne, build a program up here, and get a mindset of winning.
Well, I visited with him, too, and I actually recorded my interview, my conversation. So here is what Coach Cowan, the first-year head coach now of the Hurricane, Tigers, has to say as he gets set to host the San Juan Broncos here tonight. Coach, thanks you for chatting with us here before the game, and it's an honor for me to finally be able to talk with you after all the years I've seen your teams that you've coached, and I know you've had a lot of success. You're a legendary coach. Tell me about your experience here for this. I guess it's now probably pretty much 9/10 of the season through here at Hurricane.
Well, I mean, obviously we came into a program that was kind of desperate for some success, and so we took that on, and we knew what we signed up for, and but at the same time we knew it would be a opportunity for us to turn a program around, and I mean, this year right now, I mean, we've had a lot of success, and we've had some ups and downs. Obviously, our record doesn't necessarily show maybe some of the success. I mean, if you look down at some of the games we've lost some heartbreakers, and we've won a couple close ones, and and our younger programs, our freshmen were 9-0, our JV's 8-1, so we've got a lot to look forward to, and we're only playing a few seniors right now, and so we have a lot of young kids, and so we feel like we're in a pretty good spot considering the amount of time we've had to kind of prepare for this.
You kind of alluded to my next question there. A lot of folks don't appreciate that it takes a little while to build a program. Where are you? Are you where you'd like to be at this point right now?
I think in a lot of ways we're probably further ahead, than I even envisioned. I mean, like I said, our goal is to compete this year, and each week, and besides the Crimson and Desert Hills game, which we were clearly outmanned, we competed every week, and like I said, we won a few and lost a few heartbreakers, and but as far as the overall program and the big picture of things, and anyone that's involved in the program, it all sees a lot of positive and a lot of things to look forward to.
Well, Coach, tell me about the way you approach this one. But tell me actually, what are the strengths of this team so far this year? What's your favorite strength?
Our strength?
Yeah.
Well, right now it's definitely not defense. Right now our defense has struggled, and we've had a hard time stopping the run. And a lot of that's just some of the guys we have are undersized, and we're asking them to play positions maybe they shouldn't be playing. And offensively, I feel like we've done a lot of good things. We have a pretty good balance of passing and running, and we do a pretty good job with time of possession, and hopefully we do some of that tonight, because we know what San Juan brings to the table, and if we don't have the ball in our hands and it's in their hands, we know they're trying to put a lot of points on the board, so we do our best to slow that down.
What do you aim to do against them here tonight? What do you need to do? How do you approach them?
Well, I mean, you approach them, like any other team. I mean, you got to have a game plan, and our game plan is definitely different this week than it's been in other weeks. And you try to show them something maybe they haven't seen, and you try to put athletes against some of their athletes, some of your better. You try to get good matchups, and you obviously got to be ready for their tempo, and and they're pretty balanced. Even though everyone thinks they just throw the ball, these guys run the ball well, and and so they make it very difficult, and they use the whole field, and but at the same time, I mean, we get them to make a mistake or two, and put them in a situation they don't want to be in, and things could be, trying to make try not to make it easy on them is the biggest thing, and get a sack or two and a tip ball, interception. I mean, you just never know. I mean, these guys are well coached, and they obviously have a tradition that is unlike most teams at any classification, and so that's what I've been telling our kids all week is, if you're coming in this game with one bit of ease, that this is an easy game, or it's a 2A school versus what we've been playing, they're going to run you off the field, and they're going to head home on the bus with 50 points on the board.
You think your boys are ready? Are they excited to go here tonight?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think. I mean, I hope they're ready. All right, we've done our best to get them ready, and the rest is on them. We can't play for them. We can't be energetic for them. We can't make tackles for them. I mean, they got to do that on their own.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thanks for chatting with us. Have a good one out there, man. Have fun out there tonight. Thanks.
Appreciate you coming out.
And we want to say thanks to Coach Cowan for chatting with us. It's hard to imagine. I've covered his teams for 20 years or so, and it's my first conversation with him, so that was kind of fun for me, finally getting a chance to talk face-to-face with him. And Art, you hear him talking about one of the things we talked about before this game, before the broadcast started. Hurricane's job here tonight is to force San Juan mistakes out on this field.
Yeah, of course, and he's going to want to come out here and we talked about that in other games, Rhett, as we talk about the penalties and those type of mistakes. This is a game that you can't make those, that Hurricane's going to capitalize off of those mistakes. They're a team that's well coached, and they're a team that's fired up to get a win here.
Quarterback is Dylan Gabriel for this squad, the junior, and he's got 954 passing yards on the season, a 60% completion rate, 14 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. But, Art, this is, Coach Cowan brought the wing tee with him from Duchesne here to Hurricane, and so they largely try to get it done on the ground. And Dylan Gabriel's got almost as many rushing yards as he has passing yards, 483 for him on the ground, so that's an average of almost 54 per game, and he's run the ball into the end zone 5 times this season for the Tigers. Austin McRoberts, also a junior, has 6 TDs, and he's the second leading rusher with 453 yards. That's an average of over 50 per game, so those are the 2 main guys who are getting it done on the ground. But then you've got Connor Clyde. He's averaging 37 yards a game, and he's got 4 TDs. Brody Jacobs, all these guys are juniors. He's averaging almost 30 yards a game. And R.J. Allred also has some decent yardage this year on the ground for Hurricane, 25 yards per game for him and a couple touchdowns as well. So, again, I don't know exactly how Hurricane runs it, but typically the wing tee's not a super explosive offense. It's going to be largely on the ground with misdirections and things like that, but they can throw to anybody out of the backfield.
Yeah, and they will. You'll see Austin McRoberts. You mentioned him as a junior. He's a phenomenal wide receiver out of his running back position. When he gets open in space, he catches some down-the-field passes. He's got great hands and great moves. He's a player that San Juan's going to have to watch tonight because he makes stuff happen on the field as from that double wing tee gun formation that they're going to see. And kudos to Coach Cowan for bringing what he does best here and not changing to the whims. He knows what works for him, and he's going to try to install that here. Give him a couple years, see how it works, how it progresses. If it doesn't, then you look to maybe make some changes, because in the world of football we live in, like we've seen the last few years, you've got to be able to keep pace with the opposing team. And when you get a team like San Juan who likes to run the ball, who likes to pass the ball at speed, you've got to be able to score just like they do.
Well, we know one of the things Coach Cowan plans to do is, like what he did in Duchesne, is to turn his players into machines that look like him. He is a super muscular dude. He, like you said, lifts religiously. He's going to try, and this is another thing that takes a little bit of time, couple years. He wants to have big, strong young men out there on the field, and that's what kind of fuels the wing tee offense.
Well, and that's why they brought him in here. That's why they aggressively, Hurricane went after him. They pursued him. They knew what kind of coach he could be here, and it will take a couple of years. According to the Des News, this program started in 70-71. Since then, they've won 1 state title in 2011. They were 13-0 that year. And since 2015-16 season, they have not had a winning season. They have won 2 games the last 4 years, 1 game the year before that, and they were 0-9 in 18-19. So a team, a community that's desperate for a program on the uphill side to get back to that 2011. They would like more state championships here than just that one in their history. And Coach Cowan, if he can get and talked to him before, and he thinks the buy-in's there, and he thinks these kids are getting the message that he's trying to bring. And so look for this team to be competing in that 4A ranks here in a couple of years with what he's going to try to instill. We talk about good coaches attract good players. He brings not only his son, who's a freshman here, but he also brings 3 other kids that relocated from Duchesne to this program to be coached by Jerry Cowan.
Well, they would like nothing more than to upend the 3-time defending 2A champions here tonight on this 4A football field. When you look at the Hurricane Tigers, they are 3-6 on the year, and that is 18th in the 4A before they took the RPI standings offline. Obviously, the last week of the football season, so those disappeared. They'll reappear after the season is decided and the seedings for the state tournaments are decided. And so that's been pulled off. But they were 18th when that went dark. And when you look at their wins this year against Pine View, 34-27. A couple weeks ago against Snow Canyon, 35-7. But back-to-back losses leading up to this game, 55-20 to Crimson Cliffs and 38-7 against the recent 4A state champion Desert Hills. And so they obviously want to get back in the win column tonight. I'd say it's an upset maybe against San Juan tonight if they were to win, so they want to get that done here tonight on their home field as well. And it's senior night, so they're honoring the seniors out there as well. A little bit of pregame ceremony going on. We're going to take a break on the Friday Night Lights pregame show on a Wednesday night this week, and we'll return and talk about the San Juan Broncos getting set to take on the Hurricane Tigers here tonight in Hurricane. Final game of the regular season for both these teams. Stay with us. Again, it is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
We are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County. Let's do this!
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural healthcare, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Back live to Hurricane High School in Hurricane, Utah. It's Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We welcome you in for the final regular season game of the year for the San Juan Broncos and, incidentally, for the Hurricane Tigers here tonight. Final week of the regular season for teams across the state of Utah. A fun time of year as we get set for the postseason. And Barclay Christensen's San Juan Broncos getting set to take on the 4A Hurricane Tigers here tonight. Christensen got his 71st win last week at home in the final regular season home game of the year against Delta, and another, I guess you would just call it a whipping, as the Broncos have been outscoring their opponents by a great margin this season in a 63-10 victory last week. The Broncos come into this one the #1 team in the 2A ranks, looking to pick up a win against 4A Hurricane tonight and secure that position. We did get a chance to talk just moments ago with Barclay Christensen, and here's what he has to say as his team gets set to go in Hurricane here tonight. Coach, thanks for chatting with us again, as you have all year. Beautiful atmosphere for football here in Hurricane. I've never been on this field, and we need to figure out a way to get some sport turf from Blanding, I think, huh?
Yeah, that would be nice. No, I'm actually a fan of grass. I think a lot of teams, even the NFL, are moving back to grass. Not to go off on grass, but I feel like we need to update our field a little bit, the grass. But grass is good because you don't stick in it, and injuries actually through studies have been shown that grass is a lot safer. So,
is that a concern for you tonight here on this field?
No, I mean, our kids are tough, but that's just what the studies show in the NFL and college is knee injuries are a little bit higher on turf.
Long drive for you guys. I know you'll have a long return trip. Tell me how the feeling is coming into this one here tonight.
They're excited, man. What an opportunity. I'm so glad and grateful that they agreed to play on us. We tried to get them to play us. I tried to get them to play us last year, and they wouldn't do it. And Coach Cowan said, yeah, let's schedule the game. And so I'm excited. It's a great opportunity to go and play a 4A football team. These games are always fun. I can remember the Desert Hills game still. It's a game I think about all the time, just because the level of competition and the room for error is so small. And coaching, it matters a ton with decisions and things like that. So it's fun when the windows of opportunity are, so small. You got to go take it. These games are a blast. It's fun football.
Yeah, and I think you're talking about just how it's going to make you better, ultimately playing a harder team, playing up a couple classifications. This is a fun little bonus game, a good prep game for you guys heading into the postseason, and you guys haven't played each other in 22 years.
Yeah, and I was shocked it was even 22 years. What was it, 2002? 2002? Yeah, I was shocked we played that recent. Obviously a lot has changed. They've probably grown a lot since 2002. We've probably stayed the same. So.
Well, the fun thing is these two teams played each other in the 1987 2A championship game. So, I don't know. It's completely different teams now, but still.
Yeah, no, they did. They played each other twice then, and they beat them. So, but yeah, completely different dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, we're really looking forward to it. We're grateful that they agreed to schedule us.
How do you approach this one here tonight?
Again, just the same as we have. We got to understand that I tell these kids this is a pride game, right? We're not going to win a region trophy. This doesn't affect our playoff seeding. At the end of the day, after that Grantsville loss, the story or people can say, well, San Juan's good in 2A because 2A's down or whatever. And, I read all those and I clip them up for a little bit of motivation. And I show these kids, and this is a pride game. Like, we get another opportunity. We wanted that Grantsville game back. We obviously can't do that in sports, unfortunately. So this is kind of that Grantsville game back in a way, playing up a classification. Yeah, their record may not be great in 4A, but they're playing 4A football. They're playing Dixie and Pineview and these bigger schools. So, we kind of get this game back, and we're excited for it.
Coach, we're looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun here tonight. We appreciate you chatting with us, and obviously going to be a big challenge tonight. Thanks, Coach. Have a good one out there.
Hey, thank you, guys. Thanks for making the trip.
And a big thanks to Coach Christensen for chatting with us as we get set to go here tonight. And again, a big matchup for San Juan tonight. You hear what it means to them. You hear the funness of it. You hear the bonusness of it and how exciting it is to have a game instead of a bye week. Especially against a team that's going to challenge you here tonight. And when you look at these San Juan Broncos coming in, Jayton Knight, of course, has been amazing all year long. He's got 2,347 yards passing on the season now. That is 9th in the state. 27 passing touchdowns with the 7 interceptions on the year. Also, Jayton's 2,702 total yards on the year is 6th in the state. And it just keeps getting better for the Broncos. When you move down into the rushing department, of course, we've been calling Jagger Neve's name relentlessly, especially these past 2 games with the 10 touchdowns he's gotten in these last 2 games. 607 yards rushing for him and 13 touchdowns on the season now. When you look at Jagger and what he's done so far this season, he's 2nd in the state in points scored with 150 for San Juan, 2nd in the state in TDs, 25. He's also 4th in the state, averaging 34 yards per kick return. And we know he's run a couple of those back this year. So just guys getting it done everywhere for San Juan. J.D. Palmer is averaging almost 60 yards a game in the rushing department as well, 539 for him and 9 TDs. And it looks like, I don't know, we're getting set for the national anthem here, I think. Is that correct? We might have to step aside. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and step aside for a real quick break. We'll return for the opening kick here tonight in Hurricane. Again, stay with us. It's an early edition of Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
You don't have to be sidelined by sports injuries in San Juan County. Precision Rehab provides physical therapy in Monticello and Blanding, as well as Montezuma Creek and Monument Valley, where our therapists have helped athletes of all ages get back in the game since 1996. Precision Rehab is dedicated to restoring you and your loved ones to peak performance when pain and injury slow you down. We offer innovative, effective treatments that make a difference. Treatment is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Call 435-678-3869 for an appointment. That's 435-678-3869. Or find out more at PrecisionRehabUtah.com.
Here at Lyle Northern Electric, we take pride in our highly qualified team, dedicated to serving our community. Whether you need commercial, residential, or solar electrical services, our certified experts are ready to meet your needs. We are proud to support our community, especially our youth and high school athletics. Lyle Northern Electric, serving our community since 1957.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance your home or property? Ask for the professionals at Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency. Anderson Oliver Title has provided title insurance and real estate closing services in San Juan and Grand counties for 25 years. Anderson Oliver Title isn't just another out-of-town company. It's the only locally owned and operated title company in southeastern Utah. The owners and employees at Anderson Oliver Title are excited to support our communities and are proud to support high school athletics and activities.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing in Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
Utah is our home, unique in its strengths and struggles. And sadly, suicide in Utah is one of our greatest challenges. So people across the state are coming together to answer the call, to change our culture around suicide and mental health, to give hope and provide genuine help. Together, we can get through, lift up, look ahead, and live on. Learn how you can reach out at liveonutah.org.
No matter what you've got planned for the weekend, a home makeover, a landscaping project, a backyard barbecue, your neighbors at Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding have what you need. You'll find great buys on paint, tools, and yard and garden supplies. Not to mention grills, patio furniture, and pool care essentials. We carry top brands like Clark & Kensington, Craftsman, Scotts & Weber, and our helpful associates can answer all your questions. For national brands and local expertise, you can always count on Red's Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back live to Hurricane High School in Hurricane, Utah, the site of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. And yeah, it is a Wednesday night. So Wednesday Night Lights tonight. Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you back. And just want to continue looking at the San Juan Broncos. And, of course, Jayton Knight, the third leading rusher for San Juan, averaging almost 40 yards a game and 5 TDs for him. We're just continuing down the list of the contributors for this team. In the receiving department this season, Neves is leading with 8 TDs there. He's got 52 yards catching per game. Branton Bethea averaging 53 yards per game with 7 TDs, but the man who's leading the receiving crew is Jake Ivins, he's been doing a great job for San Juan since coming back from injury a couple games into the season and averaging over 70 yards receiving per game with 3 TDs. So, Art, this is a team, and we've talked about it multiple times. This is just the offense we're talking about right now, but they've got weapons all over the field.
Yeah, a team that no matter who's having a good night or bad night, they can go to anybody on the field, and it's rare to have that. We've talked about it, especially at the 2A level. Sometimes you have 1 or 2 key players. San Juan has 6 or 7 key players on the offensive side of the ball. So it'll be interesting to see how things go tonight and what conspires out of this matchup. It's a matchup that gives me a little nervousness just because of you are playing a 4A team and you against a 2A team, and so some people may say, well, if Hurricane beats them, it's an upset. But to me, it's not. It's you're playing up 2 divisions. You're playing against a team who lost 3 of their games this year by less than a touchdown, 1 game by a point, who only won 2 games last year, won 3 this year. So I know that's not a lot, but anytime you're improving your program, you're doing a lot better. So I look for San Juan to come out. They got to limit their mistakes, Rhett. We talked about that. Coach talked about it. They've got to limit the mistakes on both sides of the ball. They can't give up free yards. And the receivers got to come up big time. The running backs, the blockers, they've got to have a flawless night here tonight and just do what they do and not let the long bus drive, hey, we're playing a 4A school affect them. And we saw it when they played Desert Hills. You were at that game. It doesn't really affect these kids in San Juan.
Right.
They come out to play football no matter who you put in front of them. So I'm excited for a good game tonight.
Well, the Broncos are going to start in a very familiar way. It looked like Hurricane deferred the toss, and so San Juan elects to receive, and they will take the football here to start this one out tonight. It's a beautiful night, a beautiful moon rising above the hills here east of Hurricane as we get set to go here tonight. And, again, it's a sport turf field. Obviously, for those of you watching on StreamUtah.Live tonight or the YouTube page, you can see that fairly clearly. I was thinking the team wasn't going to do a dramatic entrance, but it now looks like Hurricane is set to make a dramatic entrance as they've got the gauntlet of cheerleaders set up, the tunnel of cheerleaders, if you will, that they'll run through coming to their sideline here.
Well, in all the years I played Coach Cowan, and he was at Duchesne, they would get together and do their circle drill at the 50-yard line where they would physically throw each other around. I mean, it was intimidation for the other team. Now it looks like they're just getting pumped up and ready to go, and then kind of run through like San Juan does their tunnel. They're going to do something like that here. But, exciting game, exciting for these Broncos to come over here and, like Coach said, show everybody what they're made of against a 2 classification team that's up in the 4A, a team that really, I wouldn't take them for granted.
No. And the Broncos have been – this is a little bit of mind games here with the opponent as the Broncos have now been out on the field waiting to receive a kick. But, boy, this – opening ceremony and the pomp and circumstance goes on and on here. So now the Broncos are just standing out there waiting and watching this all go on.
I'm pretty sure they have just as many cheerleaders as most teams have football players.
Yeah, they sure do. They've got a large group of cheerleaders.
They're probably
out there.
drill team and cheer, but quite the entrance here. They want to come out here and play those mind games and psych you out and get you ready to go. And
well, Art, the Broncos want to do what they do best, and that's start early here tonight. That's why they elected to take the ball. They want to get on the board, start putting their opponents behind them early on. And, of course, we've seen it work to a charm in the 2A. Nobody's been able to challenge them in the 2A. We'll see if this 4A team can challenge them here tonight on their home turf.
I'd like to point out just real quick before we go on my linemen, talk about some linemen every night. And my lineman shout out tonight goes to Stetson Black. He plays defensive tackle number 42. To me, he's way undersized as a D tackle, but he is so physical and so quick that he is tremendously effective at that spot. And we've seen that with San Juan. Coach Byron likes to use small, skillful, athletic defensive tackles out there. He's got 32 tackles on the season, 6 of those for loss. He's in a ton of plays that he probably, if you gave a third of credit, he would get a third, but you usually only give halves. So shout out to Stetson Black and just having a tremendous season on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, they've got the ball set on the tee. We're getting set to go here tonight. 12 minutes on the clock to open this ball game, of course. And it is Hurricane set to kick it away here tonight to get us started. And the kick is in the air, and it is a boot. That's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos are going to start on their own 20, and that's pretty rare. We don't see that a whole lot in games normally in the 2A ranks, but the Broncos forced on the touchback here as that one's booted into the end zone.
And quite a few Bronco fans over there in the visiting stands made this long trip over here to Hurricane, and late night tonight if they go home, or a nice motel stay if they don't.
That's right. And it depends on what hotel they've elected, I guess.
That's right.
If it's a nice one or not. But San Juan offense on the field, starting from their own 20. Jayton Knight working from the shotgun as he has all season. And he'll toss it out into the flat to who else but Jagger Neves. And Neves across the 30 and near the 35 before he's forced out of bounds. A 16-yard pass on first down.
Yeah, and Hurricane comes out that 5-man front. They want to put pressure on Jayton. They want to make him make quick decisions. And right there, great little check down to his running back to get outside and get some yards. And it'll be interesting to see if Hurricane stays in this 5-man front.
We'll see if they can do what no 2A team has done, and that's keep up with this hurry-up offense for San Juan. They're going to get a good stop right here, right in the middle as the Broncos go to the ground on first down, and Neves gets maybe a yard.
And with that 5-man front, it's going to be the offensive line for San Juan is going to have to hit their blocks and not miss a read, or those lanes are not going to be there tonight in the RPO.
Knight drops back to pass again and throws to the flat again, intended for Jagger Neves, but this time a miscue on second down, out ahead of Neves by about 3 yards and incomplete.
And that pressure we just talked about, they want to put Jayton under duress. They want to make him make some plays and not just give him time to sit back there and pick them apart. So look for the defensive coordinator to dial up a lot of blitz packages tonight.
And they're going to bring the safety in now to cover Neves. As it's third down for San Juan. They've got the ball at their own 37-yard line. Knight looking to the sideline for the play. Empty set for Knight. He'll drop back, has protection, throws to the left side, has a wide open man who makes the catch and hangs on with a hit, and that's Jake Ivins with a big play for San Juan.
Jake, the sure-handed receiver, and the guy that's going to get the ball. He gets popped right after catching it, but he's able to hold on. He's just so tough. Our player of the game last week comes out with a huge catch on third down. What a pass, and way to sit in the pocket if you're Jayton because he had a lot of pressure.
It's a 20-yard pass, and the Broncos a new set of downs now in Hurricane territory for the first time tonight. We are a minute in as Knight drops back to pass again. Throws to the sideline on the near side, and it's complete to Branton Bethea. Yeah, he's close enough I can see him over here. That's a 4-yard catch for Bethea.
Yeah, great little route there by Bethea to come back and make that a successful pass for his quarterback and not make him jam that into coverage and look to get it knocked down or a pick. And the receivers are going to have to work with their quarterback tonight against this defense.
40 passing yards already for Jayton Knight. This time they'll go to the ground, and it is Knight on the carry right up the middle for a couple.
Yep.
So that'll be third down.
And the run game's going to be hard to come by tonight with that 5-man front. They've got some big boys up there for Hurricane.
Yeah, they got them pumped up here in the booth as they're trying to get their team a big stop here on third down, but we know this is 4-down territory for Coach Christensen and the Broncos inside the Hurricane 40. Knight will throw behind his intended receiver, incomplete on the slant pattern. That usually works well for San Juan, but this time it's going to result in a fourth down.
Yeah, you're right. Just a little behind Bethea on that pass. If he leads him, he makes that catch, but the pass is just a little behind, so the defender there is able to get his right hand in there and knock that ball away from Branton. Just one of those things, the timing is going to have to be a little more crisper.
So we'll see if the Broncos can extend this drive or if Hurricane's going to get a big stop here. Knight, one-step drop, throws incomplete over the head of Jake Ivins on the far side, and it's a turnover on downs on the Hurricane 38, and the Tigers have stopped the Broncos on their first drive.
Just a little bit of happy feet. Jayton needs to calm down on those passes. The hardest passes to make are the ones anywhere from 5 to 8 yards. It's just you want to put so much on it to get it there quick that you put a little too much, and so he's just going to have to relax a little bit on those intermediate routes so they get there to the receiver.
Yeah, do you think it's a little bit of a psych out play in a 4A team maybe?
I just think it's a little bit of nerves, and here we go with the wing team.
Yeah, wow, right up the middle and a big run for Hurricane as they're going to get across midfield into San Juan territory. It's a 5, 10, 15, 18-yard run, I believe, for Connor Clyde.
That misdirection, you got to cover 4 guys every play here. We've talked about this against other wing T teams, but you're playing a double wing shotgun set here, and you've got 3-4 guys that you're going to have to cover every time, and you cannot make mistakes. And from a defensive standpoint, Coach Byron likes to run that 3-4. He might have to adjust that against this team.
Well, good success on first down for Hurricane. We'll see what they
start.
It'll be a false start, so that'll drop them back 5 yards, but already on the move here in the early stages of their first possession with a new set of downs, but that's going to make it 1st and 15 back near midfield now. So they'll spot it at the 49, and again, 1st and 15 for Hurricane as Dylan Gabriel, not only one play right now for the Hurricane offense. He has yet to attempt a pass. And so here they come back to the line of scrimmage. Gabriel working from the shotgun, and it looks a little bit like a spread offense, even though it's a wing T. And they'll send a man in motion. They'll fake to that man, and Gabriel will keep it himself, and the Broncos are going to push him for a loss, maybe stop him right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Now they may actually give him a yard after it's all said and done. So 2nd down and 14 on a 1-yard run for the junior quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. So the penalty right now hurting Hurricane as they're back 4 yards for a 2nd down and 14 at their own 49.
Yeah, they're going to have to. San Juan's front 3 here, and they like to bring those outside backers up and play that run support. Going to have to be huge here.
And again, a man in motion, and this time they will hand to that man, trying to get him to the outside over here off tackle, but the Broncos with excellent coverage here and stop right at the line of scrimmage, even a loss of 1 on that pitch.
Good job there by Jake Ivins. I just talked about those outside backers, and he's able to stand his guy up. He doesn't make the tackle, but he makes that cut back inside into the pressure, which allows his defensive helpers to come and make a tackle where if he gets outside around that edge, he may spring that for a 1st down. So if you're the end guy, you just got to set the end. You might not make the tackle tonight, but you got to cut that guy back inside to where the rest of your team can come make a tackle. It's any wing T defense. That's the ends are the most important thing.
Well, it's a big 3rd down now for Hurricane and for the San Juan defense. The ball is back right on the midfield line. And we'll see what Dylan Gabriel will do here on 3rd down. Again, he's yet to attempt a pass. He's going to roll out, look to throw it downfield. Has a man down there. It's going to be knocked up in the air twice and was nearly picked, then nearly caught, then nearly picked again. Couple defenders down there for San Juan, and the incomplete pass brings up a 4th down and 15.
Yeah, Brody Bilbo able to get back there. He's a little too up, jumps, able to tip that, but the Hurricane receiver number 2 is able to go up and tip it almost to himself, and he almost comes down with it. I think it must have hit the turf as it's tipped, and then boom, and then right there, oh, man, the referee's right on top of that.
Yeah, it was close to being caught and close to being picked, but, boy, they roll out Gabriel right there, gave him some extra time to look downfield and get that ball released. And now they're going to punt, and the snap is low. It rolls to the punter. He could still kick it, and he does. Rugby style, it's going to be fielded in the air by San Juan, and Branton Bethea, I think, was face masked as he's pulled down, and so the flag flies, but what a play by both the punter and then Branton Bethea to catch that on a line and run it back 15 yards, plus he's going to get some more with the penalty.
Does that punter think he's from Australia?
That was awesome. He really salvaged that for his team because that could have been ugly. That would have put San Juan back at their 40. So
lucky for San Juan, it comes straight to Branton right in his chest.
Yeah.
He's able to catch that on the run, so able to pick up positive yard, and now they'll get the penalty yards here as the refs talk about it. We'll see if they waive this off.
So both teams, both defenses get stops on first possessions for the 2 offenses. And we'll see what they're going to call on this play. The flag is still laying on the turf at the San Juan 33. And San Juan's probably happy to just go ahead and take it right there and get started. They're out there ready to chomping at the bit here. The refs are still discussing it. I think they're going to mark it off against Hurricane. So they're yelling over to the sideline for San Juan to see. No, they're going to wave it off, excuse me. So no penalty on the play, and again, the Broncos will get started from their own 33 here. On their second possession, after suffering a turnover on downs on their first possession. So Jayton Knight brings him out. We'll see if he's a little bit more settled on this series. And he'll keep it himself right up the middle. There's a man spying him right there. He's able to spin away from that first tackle and make 4 yards on the run up the middle.
Yeah, it looks like just a missed block there on that defensive line. So San Juan's going to trips left, empty set, and that that only puts 4 men up on the front line. Now they go back to their regular formation, which puts 5 defensive linemen.
And Knight will quick throw it over here to the right side, intended for Montella, and he's interfered with on the sideline. That will be a pass interference against Hurricane, and that's going to give San Juan a first down.
Smart route there by Montella to get over there and then run through the defensive back as the ball's thrown to basically get that flag thrown.
Well, we've got ourselves a battle right now, back and forth, as both defenses have gotten stops in the first 2 possessions of the night. And that's something we haven't said, Art, for San Juan. They've scored every time they've had the ball in these last few games.
Yeah, it's been but, hey, adversity strikes, and we've seen them work through it before. Let's see what they finish this drive with as they go back to empty set, just trying to give Jayton less pressure on that defensive front.
He'll throw quickly again, and this time he gets the backside. Receiver coming on the slant, Owen Adams, and he'll take it all the way down inside the Hurricane 20-yard line.
Great route by Owen Adams, finding the space in the defense, and then great recognition by Jayton to get him the ball quick right when he's in that open spot instead of leading him too far where he runs into the defender.
It's a 23-yard pass on Owen Adams' first catch of the night. And Knight will go to the air again, and he hits another man on the slant. This time it's Montella, and he'll go down near the 10-yard line of Hurricane. That is close to a first down, looks like a yard shy.
Yeah, if you're San Juan, you just got to keep going quick as Hurricane's trying to shuffle defensive players here. They're not going to be able to get the second player on due to San Juan going quick here.
And it is J.D. Palmer in the backfield for San Juan this time, and he takes his first handoff of the night down near the 7-yard line, and that will be a 1st and goal for the Broncos as they're knocking on the door now.
And with this defensive front, that you're going to need a lot of J.D. Powers, an associate here, because he needs to just pound that rock because they're not going to let you finesse them. You're going to have to run over people if you're a running back for San Juan tonight.
And Jayton Knight brings them back to the line of scrimmage with 6.5 minutes to go in this first quarter as the Broncos trying to put the first points on the board. Into the end zone goes the throw, and it's incomplete on that slant. Again, maybe just a half yard behind the intended receiver. So, Art, right now the timing that we've seen between Jayton Knight and his receivers just a little bit off here against Hurricane.
Yeah, those are just those timing routes. Usually that route so quick is a 3-step for the receiver, a 2-step for the quarterback, where you just bang, bang, and then let that thing go. So right when he makes his cut, the ball's there. It eliminates the time for the defender to catch up.
And it is 2nd down and goal as Knight will pitch on the option to Neves. Neves trying to get to the outside. He's unable as he's knocked out of bounds. He does gain a couple yards down near the 5-yard line, but it will be a 3rd down and goal. And we'll say 3 yards officially for Neves there, so he's got 4 yards rushing. And now a big 3rd and goal for San Juan.
Yeah, you got 4 yards here you got to get.
And is that 3 guys? 3 guys were in the backfield that time for San Juan, and they'll hand to Neves, and he spins his way down to the 2, but not able to get it into the end zone as Hurricane does a good job to get in there and grab a hold of his ankles in the backfield. So only a couple yard run for Neves, and now 4th down and goal.
Yeah, Hurricane's doing a great job on their front 5 of getting leverage on the offensive linemen and not letting them open those gaps or even getting them 3 yards on the block.
The Broncos coming in with 2 running backs, so it looks like a wishbone formation, but San Juan trying to punch it in on their 4th try here in a goal-to-go situation. Neves gets the lead blocker. He goes into the end zone, just enough for San Juan, and a touchdown makes it 6-0 for Jagger Neves, who picks up right where he left off these past couple weeks.
Yeah, you come out in that pro set shotgun, and you run JD up to block out that end that comes in that's crashing hard to make that tackle behind the line. And so with that, all you have to have is those linemen get a 2-yard push, and they're able to do that. Great recognition by the offensive coordinator and Coach Christensen, whoever's up top of the booth, seeing that, hey, we control that outside guy, we're going to get 6.
And now whistles on Trip Palmer's PAT here. And by the way, Tripp comes into the ballgame tied 1st in the state with 44 PAT kicks. He is 44 of 58 on the year for 76%, and he's going to get a chance at another 25-yarder here like he did last week.
False start on the PAT team.
And I don't know what the grid says, but logic says you keep it in Tripp's hands or on his foot for this PAT and try to make this 7-0. And the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is right through. 7-0 as Palmer is 1 for 1 on the night. and that's his 45th PAT of the season, so he may have just taken the outright lead in the state. Obviously, we won't know till after the game officially, but Trip Palmer's been like clockwork of late for San Juan. So the Broncos take a 7-0 lead with 5:20 left in the opening quarter. And what are your thoughts on that drive, Art? It looked like the Broncos were able to keep it steady and move it down, obviously, with some power that time.
Yeah, just a passing game. And like I said, if Hurricane's going to come out and stay in that 5-man front, it's going to be a long night to run the ball because they're just getting the leverage and position on the offensive line right now. And that might change throughout the night as the offensive line gets a little more comfortable in the rhythm. But right now, Hurricanes winning that battle. So by going empty set, spreading everything out, that makes it a little more easy. Also, it opens up a lot of passing lanes for you as Hurricane drops back in their zone. But on that last touchdown, I go back to JD. If he doesn't hit that in block, then they don't score that touchdown. So he's not going to get credit for that. But he got to get half of those points.
As the Broncos kick it away, Hurricane with the handoff on the reverse kickoff return, but it's not going to do a whole lot. They won't get much more than the 15-yard line on the return. So that's where the Tigers will start on their own side of midfield. For Jagger Neves, his 14th rushing touchdown of the season. A 3-yarder has given San Juan a 7-0 lead here tonight in Hurricane as the Tigers get the football back here.
Great recognition there by that kickoff team to not fall for that reverse, as there was a couple of Broncos that never even bid on it. They went right for the tackle.
Yeah, it's called staying at home, and so that's what they did. Good kick coverage that time, keeping the field spread, and no lanes to run in that time for the returner for Hurricane. And now a pump fake from the quarterback, and he's got some room to run on the outside. He'll pick up 15 yards and more. Looks like a 16-yard run that time for Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, he wanted to pass that ball, but the end on that side, I don't know who it was, couldn't see, comes rushing in and recognizes he's going to pass it, and he jumps in the air to disrupt the pass, and so the quarterback smartly pulls that ball down and is able to pick up a big first down here.
We see now why he's their leading rusher as he punches that one ahead for a first down for Hurricane. One play and a first down, and this time he'll hand the ball off, leave it to someone else up the middle, and still battling for extra yardage. They're still struggling to bring down that running back, and finally after a 7-yard run they do. I think that was
15.
Connor Clyde that time. We get the call. That's a 7-yard run for Clyde. His second touch tonight. He's got 25 yards on 2 carries.
The hardest thing, if you're a defensive lineman, the hardest thing with the wing T offense is just not biting on the first pull, because they'll pull a guy to the left and run it right back to the right. And it's just so hard because your natural tendency and what you teach your defensive linemen is follow the puller. But when you're playing a wing T team, you got to learn to stay home and just sit in that gap and not follow so that you can get the guy coming back your way.
Gabriel sends a man in motion. Play action in the backfield. He'll spin his way off left tackle and is drugged down to the ground after a 3-yard pickup, but it's going to be enough to move the chains. Another first down run for the junior quarterback, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, J.D. Palmer able to stop him, but not until after he gets first down. But a short yard situation, great recognition by the Hurricane quarterback just to pick up the first down, get a new set here and almost to the 50.
Yeah, you can see a team that runs the wing T very well. You know, we saw that in Delta too. They look a little bit stronger than some teams, but we see the wing T being run properly here tonight. And it's shifty. You can't tell exactly where the ball's going to end up going a lot of times. And they're going to get about 3 yards out of it right here as they hand off this time to Austin McRoberts.
Yeah, and Jake Givens is right there for the tackle, but unable to bring him down at point of contact, but holds on to bring him down, but gives up those 3 yards. And if you're San Juan, you got to have 2 guys up there making those tackles, and you got to read that. Find the ball. That's the hardest thing to do as a defense against a wing T, is just find that ball.
And a 2nd down and 7 here for Hurricane as they near midfield with the football on their second possession of the night. San Juan scored on their second possession, and leads 7-0 as Gabriel passes complete to the near flat. And it looks like that's going to be who's usually in the backfield. Austin McRoberts making a catch out here. Only about 3 yards on the reception, though.
Yeah, he bobbled that catch, and I think if he doesn't bobble it, he probably picks up 7 or 8 yards here. But fortunate for the Broncos, he bobbles it. But Broncos have got to make the stop at point of contact. They're typically pretty good at driving the runner or receiver backwards. Today, Hurricane's been going forward, so they got to get a little more aggressive there on their stops.
3rd down and 3 now into San Juan territory for the Tiger offense. As Dylan Gabriel will once again send Austin McRoberts in motion. He's like the designated motion man. Look how shifty Gabriel is as he spins away from a tackle and gets double-digit yardage here down the field. A 15-yard run for the junior quarterback and another 1st down for Hurricane as they're on the move.
Yeah, you've got to have someone spy that quarterback, and Hurricane's doing a great job at just sealing out the defensive line as you watch the replay on StreamUtah.Live here. The defensive line has got to get their hands aggressive. They got to get the blocker off of them. They're letting them into their chest. They're letting them into the square, and you can't do that. You've got to chop, swim, block. You can't let that offensive lineman get into your square and block you out.
Well, Hurricane is knocking on the door to the red zone now, down under 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter as they go on the ground once again, and this time not a whole lot for Connor Clyde as he's slung down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Again, San Juan had him 2 yards back, and the Hurricanes really good at spinning and moving and just getting those extra yards. He didn't get any positive yards, but he did in a sense because he didn't lose 2 yards. And so they're going to have to figure out how they're going to dig their cleats into the turf here and get Hurricane going backwards instead of forwards on these run plays.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Everybody who's carried the football for Hurricane so far is circle button, and they're spinning through, man, and making it tough to make tackles on them. As this is a more traditional wing T formation, and Gabriel rolls out of it, running quickly to the sideline, and he throws complete down the sideline, and still on his feet down inside the 5 for a 1st and goal is number 2, C.J. Trump, and a big catch for Trump, and 1st and goal for Hurricane.
I saw that a lot watching film on Hurricane this week, is anytime they get their quarterback to roll out, they get those receivers to work back to him, and it puts a defender at odds with himself. And like that time, he gets the defender turned around in a circle as he does his comeback, and the quarterback for Hurricane is just good at putting that ball there. They've got to know if that quarterback's rolling as a defensive back. You've got to get your eyes on your guy.
Yeah, Gabriel real good when he gets out in space out there. And now they'll hand off again, and this time Clyde's going nowhere. He's stood up at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and goal back at the 5 now after a 1 yard loss, And let's see, whistles are sounding here now. Well, they're signaling to run the clock, so I'm not sure what whistles I'm hearing, but at any rate, 2nd down and goal for Hurricane, and that was their first big pass to get him down in there in the goal-to-go situation. A 32-yarder to Trump from Dylan Gabriel, the junior QB, and they're set up now.
They ran that same play against Dixie a few weeks ago, Rhett. Worked just like it did tonight.
There you go. And so we'll see if Hurricane can punch it into the end zone to tie this game up, as they'll send a man in motion again, and they will not hand to this man, and the Broncos get to the quarterback and sack Gabriel 4 yards, 5 yards back.
Yeah, QB on QB right there. Jayton Knight's able to get in there, make a stop. And they're going to need a lot of that here as we're close to the end zone. And this benefits San Juan's defensive backs because you don't have a lot of field to cover. You just got a few, and it looks like we're going to run to the end of the quarter here as Hurricane comes over. But this is where you've got to just really be careful if you're San Juan about them skipping their wing back or their tight end out in the formation just beyond the goal line where no one's really covered them because you're coming so hard to stop the run. You've got to really be cognizant of everybody that's eligible on the field right now if you're San Juan's defense.
Well, you can see the H on the hillside lit up there. It's a beautiful sight out here tonight with the moon up there as well. The super moon tonight is full and outstanding above the stadium. That's the end of 1 quarter. And for the first time in a few weeks, it's not 21-0 San Juan after the first 12 minutes. In fact, Hurricane is threatening to score and tie this thing up. A 7-0 lead for San Juan as we head into the 2nd quarter. We'll take a real quick break and return to Hurricane High School. You're listening to Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Desert Rivers Credit Union is proud to team up with the communities in our corner of the state. A nationwide network of ATMs and branches, full line of mortgage products, local decision-making, low fees, and great rates for every credit score are just a few of the things we bring to the team. And to top it off, we are for people, not profit. Come by and meet our team at one of our 4 branch locations or visit desertriverscu.com. We love our communities and are proud to support our youth.
Here at Utah Naval Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
Back live to Hurricane High School as they complete a pass over on the far side. I believe it's going to be down to the 3-yard line, and it will be 3rd and goal as unable to get into the end zone. Sorry, 4th and goal. Unable to get into the end zone that time was number 10, Brody Jacobs. I have that as his first catch, a 3-yarder.
Jake Ivins able to come over there, but he was open, and that's what they do to you. They get guys open behind the line in space and let you try to outbeat you to the corner here. So if you're San Juan, be careful here. They've only got 3 yards to go, or 2 yards it looks like.
Yeah, they're down to the 2 with the spot. So this is obviously a huge 4th and goal with San Juan up 7-0. Hurricane trying to answer. Both defenses got stops on the first possessions of the night for either offense.
Quarterback didn't like it.
Yeah, Hurricane's going to call a timeout here to talk it over. 50 seconds into the second quarter, and again a 7-0 lead for San Juan. The Broncos drew first blood on their second possession on a 3-yard touchdown run from Jagger Neves, his 14th of the season. And now Hurricane has put together a nice drive on their second offensive possession, trying to punch it in, but only one more shot to do so here as we're fresh into the second quarter.
That's the thing the wing T does, and Coach Cowan runs it better than anybody in the state of Utah. I'll die on that hill, Rhett. He is the best wing T coach in the state of Utah, and he knows exactly how to set up his passes, and he did that perfect that time. He's done it throughout the season. It's just you get down there. San Juan's lucky to be 4th down and goal here with them. But watch for some trickeration here. Obviously, the quarterback comes out. He didn't like what he saw. He looked over to Coach Cowan, threw his hands up in the air. Coach Cowan takes the timeout to come over and talk it through. This is a big scoring. You don't want to give San Juan the ball back and let them go up by 2 scores here. If you can match them score for score, and as we've seen, you just mentioned when we went off the air, that was a fast quarter. That's what happens when you get when you run the ball.
Right.
The clock just tick, 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 tick.
Yep.
And that works to Hurricane's favor in this game.
Well, especially if they can punch it in right here. And obviously if they're unable, the Broncos are going to start exceptionally deep in their own territory, which we also don't usually see. We'll see if the San Juan defense can get a huge stop here on 4th and goal for the Hurricane Tigers as Dylan Gabriel brings them to the line of scrimmage. He'll work from the shotgun, standing at his own 6-yard line, has a man to his left. And let's see, it looks like just 2 receivers split wide left, and he'll throw forward into the end zone on a quick pass, and it's caught. Touchdown Hurricane, as it's number 10, Brody Jacobs, with the 2-yard catch after the 3-yard catch. And it is 6-7 as Hurricane answers the San Juan touchdown.
Just a little quick out route right there. You take what the defense has given you, and if they play inside, you go outside. If they play outside, you go inside, and good recognition as they got singled up over there, and they take that outside route and make it count.
And we'll see if the Tigers can tie it up with a PAT here. And it looks like it goes through. It does. And we are knotted at 7. Not quite a minute into the second quarter, Art. We got ourselves a football game here tonight on the Hurricane High School football field.
Good timeout there by Coach Cowan.
It does pay dividends as the Tigers are able to answer the Broncos and tie this thing up at 7. Both teams failing on their first possessions, but hitting pay dirt on their second. And we're all tied just less than a minute into the second quarter, 7 apiece here tonight in Hurricane. And if you didn't think this might be a fun one here tonight, I think maybe you know that now, and I think we're in store for a fun one through the duration. And if the trend stays the same, it looks like it's probably going to be a swiftly paced game as well here tonight.
Yeah, and look for Hurricane to kick this one deep again out. I think they've watched. One thing about Coach Cowan is he's good at breaking down opponent film. And I don't think he wants to put the ball in the hands of Jagger Neves back here to run it back. He'd rather kick this out of the end zone so they don't get their head of steam going. He doesn't want to run back. So look for them to try to put this in the end zone every time.
Yeah, Neves is the 4th best kick returner in the state, yards per return at 34 apiece. And so they've not given him an opportunity so far tonight. This will be their second kickoff, and they're kicking the opposite way this time, and they are going to get a chance to return it, as this one was caught on the 1. I thought maybe a foot was in the end zone, but at any rate, I didn't see who ultimately carried
Ball's on the ground.
The ball was down. Okay.
It's been fumbled.
And let's see who has the football.
J.D. Palmer comes up with it, I believe.
Wow, so a huge break for San Juan as they avoid disaster there inside their own 20, as they nearly turned it over, but again, they will start inside the 20. It looks like at the 13-yard line here, unless they haven't placed the ball yet.
Yeah, that ball was out 5 yards behind the runner. He got it swiped out of there before he comes down, and J.D. Palmer just happens to be there along with the Hurricane Tiger, and J.D. able to wrestle that away from him, jump on that ball.
And they are discussing the spot, I think, trying to figure out where to place this ball. And again, for the second time in a row, the Broncos are like, just put it down and let us get started. We'll start on our own 10, whatever. As they are standing out there in the offensive formation waiting at this point. The refs are still discussing, I think, just where to put this ball.
The head official's over talking to Barkley right now. So we'll see if there's – I think they're going to re-kick this.
Interesting.
He fair caught it. Nope.
Well, it was weird to me. It looked like it was caught right on the end zone line, which would have been a touchback. Am I right? And I wonder if that's what they're going to say, that it was actually a touchback.
Yep. So we have an inadvertent whistle.
Huh.
So, yep, that's what it was. Inadvertent whistle because of the fumble. I'm assuming they didn't see the fumble. They blew the whistle. There was a fumble on the play. Someone blew a whistle inadvertently. And so now we replay the last play, which was a kickoff.
This will be the second inadvertent whistle we've seen this year. So,
well, we've actually this is our third.
Oh, third. Okay,
we've had two.
I remember two.
That there was one that we thought it was fourth down, and then we thought it was fifth down.
That's right.
And it ended up that was an inadvertent whistle that week, and we didn't know what to put in the booth. And then we had the same thing happen the week after at home. Last week at home, we had an inadvertent whistle on a down that had to be replayed.
Okay.
So yeah, we're getting used to these inadvertent whistles.
Yeah, the refs handle it properly again. It's really interesting. It's almost like Back to the Future, and now we get a replay of the kick again, like it didn't happen, as we're a few seconds ticked off the clock. So we're down under 11, and that time it looked like Hurricane was possibly offside on the kick, but no flags down on the field as Montella hands to Neves on the reverse, and Neves will get the blocking on the sideline, and up the sideline he cuts, and he spins back into the inside of the field, but he was out of bounds, it looks like right around the 40. So the replay of the kickoff will pay dividends for San Juan, even though apparently there's a flag on the field.
There's a flag laying right at the
So it's going to go
25.
back to where it was on the fumble, probably. After it's all said and done, I think it's going to be right where it would have been. Otherwise, it was a real nice return for Neves, as we've come to expect. He was out near his own 40-yard line, but it's going to be erased on a hold against San Juan. So those are those mistakes we talked about. And, boy, the Broncos have had lots of holding penalties or illegal blocking penalties on kick returns.
Yeah, it's just what happens when you're trying to set that up. And like we talked about before, it takes so long to get that returner over to that wall. And you just want to stay in front of your guy that he turns, he shifts, and rather than let him go, you come back and hit him again or hold him, get outside the square and get a holding call. It just happens.
And so 1st and 10 for San Juan, ultimately right where they were, where the ball was fumbled. They'll be starting at their own 15-yard line. So 10:47 to go in the half. Tied at 7 here tonight in Hurricane as Jayton Knight pitches to Jagger Neves. He'll try to cut up the outside. He does get 10 yards and maybe a couple more as he's forced out of bounds on the far sideline. It'll be a first down for the Broncos. Looks like an 11-yard run for Neves.
Yeah, and Coach going to the option there. He knows that RPO inside's not working, so what do? You crash hard inside, you run outside with the option.
And 20 yards rushing now for Jagger Neves here in the early stages. As they'll set up the screen on the far side, and not expecting it that time was the receiver. I don't know exactly what happened, but the formation was not there. They were out of sorts on the far side.
They ran that screen to Jagger, and Jayton hits number 52 with the ball instead of number 2.
So it's incomplete, fortunately, for San Juan. That ball was bouncing up in the air for a second or two there, and that could have resulted in disaster, but the Broncos will get another opportunity here on 2nd and 10.
I'm surprised there wasn't an illegal touching throw
flag
on that.
Yeah, that's interesting because, I'm not sure either because that's definitely a lineman. as Jake Knight will throw high over the defender and right into the open spot in the secondary, and it's going to be a 14-yard catch for San Juan as it goes to Owen Adams, his second catch of the night.
Yeah, great spot. Found the soft grass right behind the defender and right outside of the safety's zone, and so he's able to get the ball there before they come over and collapse on that. Good job there by just finding what they're giving you.
And another 1st and 10 for San Juan as the Broncos go to the ground here, and not much off or up the middle here. It looks like it was Neves again, maybe 3 yards.
And if you're the Broncos, Rhett, you've got to establish a running game. It can't just be the option. You've got to pound that in between the tackles to make them respect your passing game and open up those lanes.
So a 2nd down and 7. They'll go right back to the ground, and Neves takes the handoff again, and he drags one Hurricane defender about 3 yards. So 3 yards a pop here for Jagger Neves, and the Broncos have a 3rd down and 3 remaining.
Yeah, just one block or one little cut away from breaking a big one here. I feel it coming. You can just feel that they're one block away from busting a wide run.
Yeah, those long legs for Neves if he gets an open space. This time they'll hand to J.D. Power and Associates as they go fullback off left guard, and he's going to punch it ahead for 6 yards and another 1st down for San Juan. Good run for J.D. Palmer.
And if you're San Juan, stay with that double-headed monster back there. Stay in that pro set and just run one-on-one and make the defense guess who's getting the ball. They both complement each other in their running styles.
So a new set of downs at the 45 of Hurricane now, as this time Jayton Knight will roll out to the right. Throws high on the far sideline, incomplete. And that was intended for Branton Bethay over on the far side of the field, but it'll be 2nd and 10 at the Hurricane 45.
Yeah, I think Jayton's just rushing his throws in some of these. He's just rushing and throwing it too hard. He just needs to get it there.
Yeah, he's 6 of 12 on the night, so 50%, well under his average for the season, 86 yards passing. And they'll go back to J.D. Palmer here in a quick 4 yards for the San Juan senior as he ended up kind of backing through the defense there. It'll be 3rd down and a long 6. And that is just 14 yards rushing for J.D. Palmer on 3 carries in this one. And this is a big 3rd down for San Juan. And a little double reverse here, and it goes to Jake Ivins ultimately. And, man, does he hit the middle of the field with speed. And it's a gash play, and the Broncos move the chains again. Hurricane is saying they've knocked the ball out and gotten the ball, but I think maybe Ivins was down. I'm not sure. Where did that?
It looks like they said the forward progression stop, but, yeah, he loses the ball right there.
Ooh,
I think he's able to get it back.
Yeah, when he was being pushed backwards. So I'll have to gauge that yardage on that play as the Broncos go up the middle on 1st down after they moved it up inside the 30 of Hurricane, and this is a quick 5-yard run for J.D. Palmer.
That last play was that little shovel pass that they run.
Okay, so that was a pass. I thought it was reversed, but I guess there was play action, and I didn't see. I'm going to guess that was about a 15-yard play to Jake Ivins as they'll throw to the near side again, and Jake Ivins gets a catch again, trying to make a couple Hurricane defenders miss, but he goes down to the right near the 20-yard line. Not enough to move the chains. It'll be 3rd down and 3. 3rd down and 2. So that was about a 3-yard pass, I think, to Jake Ivins. And let's see what the Broncos can do on 3rd down here as flags fly as they try to snap the football. So false start is going to push them back near the original line of scrimmage, back out across the 25. Let's see, it's going to be right at the 25-yard line. So 3rd down and 8 now, so a less manageable 3rd down here because of the penalty. And we'll see if the Broncos can overcome the mistake as Jayton Knight works with Jagger Neves to his left. The run pass option, and he finally gives it to Jagger Neves, and what a shake and bake move as he gets around the outside of the defenders for Hurricane, and he's going to have enough to move the chains for San Juan on a 10-yard run. And, boy, that move he made at the line is what gave him the extra yardage to move the chains.
Yeah, good little shiftiness there by Jagger and able to get around that and get out to the outside and find the open grass.
So 1st and 10 for San Juan in the Hurricane red zone as Jagger Neves receives a pass now from out of the backfield. And not a whole lot of yardage. In fact, it's going to go backwards a couple here, maybe a yard loss, although it's a complete pass.
Yeah, you really needed a block out of your slot receiver there to keep that defender at bay, and it orders for Jagger to get going up the field.
And it looks like Hurricanes' defense has done a good job kind of slowing this offense down a little bit. It's not the express hurry up that we've seen from San Juan. Now Jagger takes a handoff and a big hit right at the line of scrimmage as he's folded in half and dropped for no gain.
Again, just a block up front right there by the line, just rubbing off the defender, and the defender able to get inside leverage and make a tackle.
We're halfway through the second quarter and still tied at 7 apiece. Flags fly as the Broncos snap the football. Jayton Knight rolls out and throws an interception inside the 5. And Hurricane on the return now. Again, there are flags on this play. And so we'll see what it's going to be. But if the play stands, it's an interception for number 3 for Hurricane. And that is Jackson, I don't know, is it Weingar? How do you pronounce his last? Weininger? Weiniger. Jackson Weiniger with the pick. It's a false start on San Juan, so that penalty will be declined, and indeed it is an interception for Weiniger, and that's the first interception in a couple games for Jayton Knight.
Yeah, and I wish Jayton, and he wants that back as well, but just take the ball and run with that. Don't throw that into coverage.
And so for Weiniger, let's see. That is his first interception of the season, believe that or not. And so Hurricane is set up inside their own 20 now as they start their third possession. And not a whole lot of action up the middle there as that one is just stuffed at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard.
Number 15 ran it.
Thank you, sir. And that's Connor Clyde on a 1-yard run.
Stopped by George McNaughton.
Man, it sure is nice having your eyes, Mr. Adair. Your zoomed-in eyes with those binoculars.
5:20 on the clock and counting here for San Juan. They need to keep Hurricane at bay here and not let them drive the field. Watch those down-the-field passes. Watch that quarterback rolling out.
Yeah, the Tigers will be getting the ball to start the second half. And again, right now we're tied at 7. Hurricanes going to try to turn this interception into points and take their first lead of the night. Here's a completed pass, I think, or maybe it was a pitch, but it doesn't go for much. No yards, it looks like.
That little end around there, and then they try to cut it back up between the tackles, try to get the blocking, but McNaughton and Jagger Neves are both there to shut it down.
Is it a pitch or a pass, do you think there?
That was a pitch. It was a run.
So it looks like they've given him a yard, and that was Brody Jacobs on the carry, the junior. Almost everybody's a junior. You heard Coach Cowan saying that not a whole lot of seniors on this team, so it's definitely a team for the future for Hurricane.
Huge third down.
It is. 3rd down and 8. Deep in their own territory. And Gabriel will look to pass, and he has a wide-open man, and that man is going to make a couple guys miss, and now down the field he goes to the 40, 30, 20. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown, starting back inside the 20 at the 19, and a huge play for Hurricane as Austin McRoberts gets the 80-yard touchdown catch.
We talked about him in the pregame. One of their best top receivers, and just a great, once he gets out there and gets ahead of steam, he's hard to catch. He's really quick.
And that is 2 touchdown passes now for junior Dylan Gabriel, and that one was missed tackling by the San Juan secondary. They had McRoberts right where he caught the football, but he was able to slip a couple tackles, and down the field he went. There was nobody to catch him, and with 4:05 left in this first half, Hurricane has taken a 13-7 lead, and will try to make it 14-7 with the extra point. And it's number 6 for the kick here, and I've got 3 6s on my roster. I'm going to guess it's Dom Alarcon, I guess, or my apologies again for the pronunciation of the last name, but we'll see. Oh, this kick is going to, I don't know if it was partially blocked, but it'll be short and no good. So it's going to remain 13-7 again with 4:05 left in the first half.
Yeah, just a heck of a play by Hurricane there to get outside, and we've talked about it a couple times. When you get that quarterback rolling out, you better hope your defensive backs have stayed home and haven't let their guy behind them, because that's going to happen all night long. They've had a couple big plays now off of that. They've scored off of that one. So if you're San Juan, you've really got to talk to your defensive backs. I know Coach Byron doesn't like to run a lot of cover 2 and that kind of stuff. He likes to keep his man up, but you may have to make some adjustments. But then that looks at your running game, and on that wing T, it's a double-edged sword there. You just got to be able to say, hey, go out there and do your job, make a stop. But you're right, Rhett, they had a couple of tackles here they missed, and they get that stopped and maybe even turnover, get a 4th down. But the defense just, we'll see if we talk a lot about that San Juan's in better shape than most teams they play. Well, they're playing Hurricane here. He plays in the heat all the time. They have just as many players on their roster as San Juan does, and they seem to rotate through quite a few. And so it's going to come down to who's better conditioned and then who makes the least mistakes. And right now, Hurricane 2 penalties, no turnovers, and San Juan with 4 penalties and a huge turnover.
Yeah, and so Hurricane turns the interception into points, and now they're going to get a sky boot again that's going to go out the back of the end zone for a touchback. And so the Broncos will start at their own 20, but San Juan in a position they haven't been in since playing Grantsville. Excuse me, I guess they were down another time this season, but boy, they have rarely trailed in the last 2 seasons. And here they are behind Hurricane now. Got to get back to work on this possession as the Tigers went 80 yards on that touchdown catch from Austin McRoberts, which is his 8th touchdown reception of the season. And so Hurricane is up on their home field here 13-7 with just over 4 minutes left in the half. And San Juan will go to the air immediately as Jayton Knight completes a pass to Jake Ivins over here on the near side for 7 yards, it looks like. So a 7-yard pass to start it off on first down, and the Broncos quickly back to the line of scrimmage now. And it's good to see Jayton Knight go right back to the air as he gets back on the horse, but now they'll go off right tackle on the ground, and J.D. Palmer gashes Hurricane up to the 40-yard line. That'll move the chains.
I like the pass play on first down. It's outside, so if your receiver can't get to it and there's no harm, no foul, you got to put Jayton in successful situations here.
And I think that was a 12-yard run for Palmer. And now Jayton Knight will air one out, and mistiming the jump on the far side over there was Trip Palmer, unable to get up and make that grab. He was covered pretty tightly. The incompletion makes it 2nd and 10.
Good first down play, good first down call by San Juan's offense, and good to go into Trip. He's tall, lengthy, he can out-jump people, and you're going to have to use his size. He hasn't been targeted a lot tonight. You're going to have to get him involved.
2nd down and 10, and Jayton Knight will fake to the first man through, then throw to the far side, complete for 6 yards up to the 45-yard line. Javen Montella, the man on the catch that time for San Juan. And again, a 6-yard catch. That's his 2nd catch of the night, and the Broncos have a 3rd down and 4. So big 3rd down nearing midfield here for San Juan.
False start.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a timeout, but no, false start on San Juan. So their 5th penalty. And again, it comes in a very similar circumstance, Art, on 3rd down and manageable. And now they find themselves with a 3rd and 9 here. So 2 penalties on 3rd down. Last time the very next play was an interception. Here they go to the ground, and J.D. Palmer right up the middle for a big run. That's going to go for 21 yards, and the Broncos move the chains into Hurricane territory.
And J.D. has been running really well, and that time the line really opened up those gaps.
And they go hurry up, and they'll go right back to Palmer. And he just fights his way through the defense, just kind of picking his way through, and he stays on his feet to the tune of 8 yards down to the Hurricane 32.
He not only picked his way through the defensive line, he had to pick his way through his offensive line. They were stood straight up by that D-line, and he's able to just maneuver through those guys and say, I'm not going down.
Yeah, J.D. was pushing and shoving. Eventually, he was the lead man. Be out ahead of his blockers. He'll get another handoff here, and he'll push it down inside the 30. I believe that's going to be just enough yardage to move the chains. Yeah, 1st and 10 as it's just a 2-yard gain, but it was enough. And so Palmer pushes him ahead. He's got 62 yards on the night now. And they'll quick snap it here. Jayton Knight has all night to pass. He throws incomplete on the far side. Jake Ivins almost made a circus catch as he went up and tried to high point that ball at the 10.
Yeah, the he just hasn't been that crisp tonight. Jayton hasn't, and he needs to just trust his receivers there. I know he puts that ball in a catchable situation, but if he puts it out and inside a little more, maybe Jake's able to come down with that on the run.
And so a 2nd and 10 for San Juan, just inside the Hurricane 30, and it's a pitch to Jagger Neves, and Neves will go for maybe 3 yards, not much more than that. Hurricane with some good coverage on the outside.
Good job there by Tripp not to get a block in the back as that his guy turns around right there, and he wants to block him, but good job to pull up, or we're looking at a big penalty.
And it's a 3rd down and 8 for San Juan, another big 3rd down. They faced more 3rd downs in this game than possibly all season. As Jayton Knight has a man wide open, it's Owen Adams again, and he makes a catch inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for San Juan. And let's see, that is a 10. That's a 14-yard pass and puts San Juan in business as Owen Adams has made some key catches tonight for the Broncos. That's his 3rd. And it's not a goal-to-go situation, but they are deep now in Hurricane territory as Jayton Knight dials his own number and rumbles it down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And that's a pickup of 3 for the Broncos.
Yeah, 1:24 and counting on the clock till we get to halftime.
Yeah, and this is key. This is not something the Broncos have faced a whole lot, trying to tie this thing up in the waning seconds of the first half. Knight will hand off to Jagger Neves, and he works his way through the defense into the end zone for a San Juan touchdown. It's Neves' 2nd touchdown of the night. This one comes from 9 yards out and is his 12th touchdown in the last 3 games as the Broncos do tie it up at 13 apiece with 1:10 to go in the first half, and a Tripp Palmer PAT could put San Juan up again by 1 point.
You saw a lot better blocking on that run right there.
And let's see, Tripp Palmer's kick is up and through, and the Broncos are up by 1 point as they regain the lead, 14-13, with just over a minute left in the first half. So now if you're the Broncos, after going back up in this game, you can't allow a big return on the kickoff here, and you want to stop on defense as Hurricane is going to be getting the ball to start the second half. Those of you on Stream Utah got a chance to see Jagger Neves run in his 15th rushing touchdown of the season.
And if you're San Juan's defensive coordinator Bob Barron, I'm over there telling him whoever's on number 22, you cannot get sucked into the run game. You've got to respect that kid. You've got to play him 8 to 9 yards off, and you cannot let him get behind you. With a minute 10 left here till halftime, do not give up the big play here to number 22.
And so San Juan set to kick it off from their own 40 after going up by 1 point again. Friday Night Lights tonight on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Bradford Tire at the center of it all at 39 East Center in Blanding. Colleen Kays, author of the 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power and Creative Floors, covering all of San Juan County's carpet and flooring needs. As the kick comes down inside the 5-yard line. And there you go, just like you said, Art, it's Austin McRoberts on the return. And a good one out across the 25. Looks like he'll get it down to the 30 before the Broncos can force him out of bounds on the near side.
Yeah, defensively here you've got, I hate when teams go prevent style defense. I think you still got to run your defense, but you got to maybe go cover 2 high here, or at least cover 1 so that you don't let anybody deep on the field here. Minute 1 left now. That kick took 9 seconds.
And all these seconds are precious for the San Juan D as they're trying to hang on to a 1-point lead and take it into the halftime period. Here is Dylan Gabriel trying to have something else to say about that. Working from the shotgun. Hands it off to the first man through. And maybe a yard on the gain across the 30 to the 31, Clyde on the carry that time for the Tigers. And again, just 1 yard. So I'll give him a 2-yard run maybe, but second down and a long 8
and
for the
40
Tigers.
Seconds clicking.
Yeah, they're
not using timeouts. And you might say, why aren't you using timeouts? Why are you trying to score? Well, they know they're getting the ball back after half, and they don't want to have a turnover here and give San Juan an opportunity to go up more than they are just by 1 point here.
So second down and 8, and we'll see if they try to air one out here. As Gabriel looked like he wanted to throw it downfield, now he's going to have to tuck it up and run, and he will slide down at the 37, 38-yard line. It's not enough for first down yardage. It'll be a 3rd down and 2. So pick up a 5 for the quarterback, and now they will use a timeout with 17 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, and great defense there by San Juan as they drop back into that zone. It looked almost like a cover 3. We'll see a replay here if we can see that. But good job at giving pressure with your front 3. McNaughton, it looks like, gets in there with great pressure, and then everyone else flows back to not let anyone deep. You can give up the 10, 15-yard play. You can't give up the 80 play right here.
Well, you talk about a good prep game for the postseason, and boy, it has been. San Juan's got their hands full with this 4A Hurricane squad tonight. Again, leading by 1 point in the waning seconds of the first half. It's 14-13 for San Juan. The difference, I think very appropriately, is a Trip Palmer extra point, as Palmer is first in the state in PATs now with 46 of them. So very appropriate that he's given his team the 1 point lead. And we'll see if the Bronco defense can get a stop here heading out of the first half and hold on to the 1 point lead as they go into halftime.
You got McRoberts over here in the slot to the wide side of the field.
Yeah, Mathey is covering him, but not really paying a whole lot of attention to him here. Now he is going to back up to him. They're definitely looking that way. Gabriel, a couple of pumps, looking downfield. Now he's signaling for some help, and he's not going to get any as they're going to pull him down on the near sideline here. It looks like he may have gotten enough for first down yardage. Down to just 5 seconds to go. The clock is going to continue running, or now one ref signals for it to stop. We got a timeout, do we?
Well, if it's first down, the clock's going to stop until they set the ball.
Gotcha. It's just a 3-yard run for Gabriel, but it's enough to move the chains, and now I don't know.
No, we're going to have a timeout.
Okay, so the Tigers, I think it's their last timeout here with 2.5 seconds to go. I think they pulled him down before he got out of bounds.
I do too.
And so that's why they have to stop. They have to stop the clock with the timeout here. And so we'll see the replay now on Stream Utah. But boy, San Juan secondary doing a good job downfield, not giving anybody an open look for Dylan Gabriel to get the ball to him down there.
Good job by McNaughton to bring him down. Or no, that's Jagger Neves. Brings him down inbounds.
You know, Neves led tackling for San Juan last week, so not only does the kid score 5 touchdowns a game, he's leading tackling as well, so in the last game anyway, and so he just does it on both sides of the ball.
And I don't know why Coach Cowan didn't call that timeout right when before they set the ball, because and they do put 3 seconds back on the clock, but it was at 3.8 at the tackle.
Right.
And so I call the timeout right immediately, knowing that as soon as they set the ball, that clock's going to run. Now they set the clock at 4 seconds.
I was going to say, if you go back and look at it, it read 5 when I looked up and looked at it, 5-something. So that's closer maybe to what it was.
I thought it was 3.8. So we'll split the difference.
That's an average. Yeah, that's the mid-range. That's through the uprights on that. Well, we'll see. This will likely be
the defense.
Yeah, this will likely be the last play of the first half. It is going to be the last play, barring a defensive penalty, as Gabriel has time, but now he's going to just run it again, and just for a short gain. Just elects to not try it, throw it downfield, and force himself into an interception. That's a smart decision by the junior. Time expires on the half, and the Broncos lead it 14-13 in a ball game here tonight in Hurricane. As we go to halftime, we'll take a break, and we'll come back for some halftime stats. It's a fun one, a little bit of a battle here tonight. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is the four-corner source for high-quality custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. They specialize in designing beautiful, long-lasting cabinetry and countertops tailored to your specific need, and they offer competitive pricing. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is family-owned and operated. Call them today for a free quote, 435-678-2523. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is a proud sponsor of San Juan High School sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers students to gain the technical, business, or college skills necessary to enter the workforce. At San Juan County Adult Education, adult learners are given the opportunity to reach their personal, educational, and career goals. Students can earn a high school diploma, obtain a GED, increase their wage earning potential, and decrease barriers to self-reliance. To learn more, visit any USU Learning Center in San Juan County or email Gina Grover at jgrover@sjsd.org.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is the place for top quality auto body and glass service in the Blanding area. They're now open and operating at their location on North Grayson Parkway. Stop by or give Jackson a call today at 435-485-0069. Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
The San Juan Credit Union, providing exceptional financial products in southeastern Utah for over 60 years, is proud to support our local high schools. With branches in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff, along with an ATM in Montezuma Creek, access to those products is easier than ever. The San Juan Credit Union offers checking and saving accounts, bill pay, a wide array of loans, and much more, all on a full-service website and mobile app. Plus, they're federally insured by the National Credit Union Association. The San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union.
Back live to Hurricane High School in Hurricane, Utah. Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We're glad you've joined us. It's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live welcoming you in. And a 14-13 lead for the San Juan Broncos at halftime. Not like the scores we've come to see over the course of this season, with the Broncos outscoring their opponents by over 50 points on the year. And so here tonight at halftime, we've got ourselves a nice little battle as we take a look at some halftime stats here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. And we'll start it out with the hometown Hurricane Tigers. And boy, with that 80-yard touchdown pass from Dylan Gabriel, he moves up to 120 yards passing. Art, he kind of quietly, after his incompletion on his first attempt, completed 5 straight in that first half and up to as many passing yards in the first half as Jayton Knight has with the 2 TDs, though.
Yeah, he's been really crisp, and when he gets on the rollout, man, he is dangerous. I would say that he's more dangerous rolling out on the pass than he is in the pocket. Just a tremendous down-the-field presence with that football and able to just whip that thing down there. He just a tremendous, and he's only a junior, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so you got to be excited if you're Hurricane, your Coach Cowan, to have that kid come back.
So that's the passing stats in the first half, and now taking a look at the rushing stats, and it's 65 yards on the ground for Hurricane. Obviously, the touchdowns both through the air. So 83 yards receiving for Austin McRoberts, and you said it at the beginning of the game, Art. San Juan's going to have to figure out a way to shut down the shifty junior. So, again, Austin McRoberts has got 85 total yards on the night. Well, it's not true because he's got some kick return yardage that I haven't been able to keep, but just offensively, 85 yards. Let's see, Connor Clyde with 6 carries on the night, 26 yards for him. Brody Jacobs, one of the touchdown catches as well. He has just 5 yards receiving in the first half. Dylan Gabriel, though, leads rushers, again, like he does on the season stat sheet. 36 yards in that first half on 7 carries, and he does lead in that department. C.J. Trump is the other man who caught a pass. That was a 32-yarder that set Hurricane up in good field position and ability to score their first touchdown. So that's the way it looks for the Hurricane Tigers in the first half. For San Juan, again, Jayton Knight, not the passing yardage he's had in the past few games, 130 in that first half. He's 12 of 21. And Art, just in that first half, you mentioned it a couple times, the shifty, got happy feet, It just looks like maybe up against this Hurricane offense, or Hurricane defense, he was a little bit nervous in that first half and didn't perform the way we've gotten used to seeing him perform against 2A teams.
Well, I think not only that, but the defenders and the defensive backs for Hurricane are a lot quicker than a lot of teams we face. So there are times when you can throw a bad pass and it get there But against this Hurricane defense, they are so quick at closing the gaps. We saw that on the interception. You just can't throw it into coverage. You got to be throwing your guy open is the term. You can't throw him to a closed set. You got to throw him open. And there's been some times where we've seen that, but there's also been some times where I think he's just missed the mark.
Right.
And I don't know. You hate to speculate because this is a high school kid.
Yeah.
And so you don't know. I mean, maybe he's just a little nervous. Maybe it's the 4A team, but I think maybe it's just a bad pass in most situations, and we just haven't seen that. He's gotten really good at hitting the mark over the last 8 weeks, and tonight he's just kind of struggled in some areas, but I think he's done good too. And the thing with Jayton that I really love about that kid is he's able to throw a pick or a bad pass and come right back and keep firing the rock and throw some dimes. And so we talk about, I think his mentality, he's a strong mental kid. He's going to come out here and he's going to game. And when it's been his time to call his number, he's taken up the middle. Hasn't had a huge game up the middle because of that defensive front for Hurricane. But the kid's a gamer. He's going to battle. He's going to make mistakes like everybody does, but he's going to come back. He's going to brush it off and just keep playing. And we've seen that. He throws the interception, and then he leads him down on a drive for a touchdown.
I was going to say, the interception that he throws results in points, gives Hurricane the lead, but what does he do? He immediately marches his team down the field and takes that lead right back. So give Jayton Knight and the San Juan Broncos credit right there.
And if you're a head coach, you can't – bad things are going to happen when you're a passing team, Right. You're not going to complete 100%. You're not going to not have interceptions when you want to throw the ball down the field 40, 50, 60 yards. And so you've got to just respect the kid for coming back and just keeping battling. And I know that's what's taught to those quarterbacks in Blanding by Coach Christensen is, and he's talked about this with you before, and he's talked about it with me, that he doesn't get on them for their mistakes. He doesn't ride them for those things. He says, hey, you just go out the next down and keep throwing the ball because we're going to be successful and you're going to make us successful. So as a head coach, that's what you got to do with those kids. You can't break them down during the game. You got to just keep building them up and keep their confidence up. And I think he'll come out this second half and have a great game, and hopefully he can just it's almost like those intermediate passes have been the hardest tonight. Those anywhere from 8 to 15 yards he struggled with.
Right. And that's been the bread and butter for San Juan of late, for sure. Well, that's not true. They've thrown huge passes down the field as well. So it really, they're just up against a solid defense tonight and a solid offense. There's really no shocks in this. We expected this to be a challenge for San Juan tonight, and it sure is. And so the Broncos getting a real good prep for the state tournament here tonight in Hurricane. Continuing with the San Juan stats, Jagger Neves hasn't missed a step. He's got 11 carries on the night for 49 yards, and he has both San Juan touchdowns through the running game. He's also caught 2 passes for 15 yards. J.D. Palmer has run for some good yardage tonight for San Juan. In fact, he's leading the ball carriers with 62 yards on 8 carries tonight for San Juan. And, boy, he's gotten the hard yardage they've needed, moving the chains down the field, helping to set up people like Jagger Neves to be able to go into the end zone with the football. Jayton Knight has run the ball 3 times tonight for 9 yards so far in the first half. Among the receivers, Jake Ivins, I think, is leading the way. Give me just a sec. I got to add this up for him. 35, 38. And we got him for 45 yards. Again, these stats are all entirely unofficial, but 4 catches for Jake Ivins. And just like J.D. Palmer, Jake Ivins and J.D. Palmer both doing a great job setting the offense up to finish drives as they help him get downfield and move those chains. Owen Adams has had an excellent night tonight as well. Let's see, 37. He's got 51 yards receiving, so he's actually leading the team in that first half. 15 yards for Javen Montella on a couple catches. Branton Bethea has 1 catch for 4 yards. So the Broncos doing a great job, Art, of spreading the offense out. They've used their 4 main receivers so far tonight. They've even targeted Trip Palmer once or twice tonight, wasn't able to pull it in, but Jayton Knight's slinging it around. They're having to use a lot more of their weapons than maybe they've had to over the course of this 2A season.
Well, and the thing with San Juan and Coach Christensen is he's not going to go over conservative because things aren't working. He's going to continue to run his offense, and we've seen that the RPOs, that inside run game, wasn't working for a while for that first quarter. And so what do? They go to the option game and try to get some stuff going, and then they go back to their RPO, and then they go to the power game with JD. And you just got to stay with what you do, and eventually it's going to work. The positive thing about that is it's going to wear on this defensive front. they're playing 5 big guys up there on that defense. They're wanting to stuff that run. Well, what that does is that eliminates a secondary player. You put 5 people on the line, so that plays to San Juan's hand. If you can get them to put 6, 7 guys in the box, keep those 2 backers in there with those 5 guys up front, that gives you the advantage in your passing game when you like to find that open space out there. And so if you're San Juan, you just got to come out the second half and keep doing what you've been doing and not let the little things affect you. You would like to see Tripp get a little more involved in the passing game. You'd like to see Jagger break a few more. He broke that one for the touchdown.
Yeah.
But what they've been doing has been working, and they're leading 14-13. Coming out this second half defensively, they're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback. And I know that Coach Bowering loves to run that 3-4, and he's run it all year. He's going to have to dial up some type of blitz package that doesn't hurt him in the secondary, but puts more pressure on the quarterback so he can't roll out and make his long passes. And while I'm talking here, I've got to give a shout out real quick. Their athletic director here, who let us in up here, and great guy here at Hurricane. His name's Marcus Matua, I believe, Matea. But he said I got to give a shout out to Marcy Black and to Travis Pearson back there in Blanding. Says they're fine folks, so I had to talk him out of that. I said, you talking about Travis Pearson that I know? But shout out to those guys from Marcus up here at Hurricane High School.
Well, for those of you on StreamUtah.Live, you can see they're honoring the seniors for the drill and the cheer teams tonight here for Hurricane. They already honored the players, so it's an extended halftime here tonight. The team's getting set to come back out for second half warm-ups. Again, it's halftime here tonight at Hurricane High School with the San Juan Broncos in town, leading the hometown Tigers by 1 point, 14-13 at halftime. We got ourselves a football game here tonight, and Hurricane's going to be getting the football to start the third quarter. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some scores in and around the area. Of course, it's kind of weird tonight because it's not officially Friday Night Lights. I don't know what all scores we'll find, but we'll try to entertain you a little bit here when we come back, and then, of course, the second half is right around the corner. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Get the resources and quality of a big school education and the support of a smaller school at Utah State Blanding. Explore over 70 degree and certificate programs to find your perfect fit and experience personalized learning with small class sizes and dedicated faculty while getting the classic college experience. A Utah State education is affordable too, thanks to competitive tuition and tons of scholarship opportunities. Visit blanding.usu.edu to learn more about becoming an Aggie in Blanding.
Looking for a new insurance provider? Call Jeff Nielsen at San Juan Insurance in Blanding. For more than a quarter century, Jeff has offered a full range of insurance products: auto, home, life, health, and more. Give him a call today, 435-678-3223, or pay him a visit at 60 North Main Street in Blanding. San Juan Insurance, over 25 years of experience and just getting started.
Let's talk cancer. Monticello, Utah. If you lived, worked, or attended school in Monticello, Utah from 1941 to 2002 for at least 3 years, you might have a higher cancer risk from uranium tailing exposure. Apply to get a free cancer screening today. One screening could bring peace of mind to you, your friends, and family members, help spread the word, and save a life. Screenings are available for a limited time through San Juan Public Health. Call today, 435-587-3838, or visit sanjuanpublichealth.org to apply.
Blue Mountain Foods is Monticello's hometown grocer and a proud supporter of our schools and sports teams. Blue Mountain Foods offers a full-service meat department, fresh deli, bakery, curbside pickup, and more. Check bluemtnfoods.com for weekly specials and online shopping. Blue Mountain Foods is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday at 64 West Center Street. Blue Mountain Foods, Monticello's hometown grocer.
San Juan Building Supply has offered a full range of building supplies to San Juan County for more than 32 years. From the start of your project to the finish, San Juan Building Supply has high-quality products for all your needs, and they can deliver. Drop by 1050 South Main Street in Blanding, call 678-2000, or visit sjvs.com. San Juan Building Supply, a proud sponsor of our local teams.
Back live to Hurricane High School in Hurricane, Utah tonight. Friday Night Lights a little bit early this week on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We got two matchups this week. San Juan here tonight leading Hurricane at halftime by 1 point, 14-13. And the Monticello Buckaroos are going to be traveling to take on the Altamont Longhorns this Friday night. And that one will be on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as well. Bill and David Boyle on the call for that one on Friday night. So a doubleheader, if you will, of high school football this week on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We do have some scores to look at. It's kind of weird tonight since it's Wednesday night. I want to start it off with some 2A girls state tournament action in the soccer ranks. And unfortunately for the San Juan Lady Broncos, you know, they won more games this season than they have in program history. 6 wins, one of those against a JV team, but congratulations to the girls. Their season comes to a close tonight against number 7 Beaver in the first round of the state tournament in Beaver on a 3-0 shutout. So congrats to the girls on a great season this year for San Juan girls soccer. They end the season 6-11 on the year. I don't have an update on Grand County, but they were hosting American Leadership Academy tonight. So if any of you can update that score, maybe on the Picture It Palmer YouTube site, where you're watching the stream tonight, you can leave a comment. Maybe we can get a Grand County soccer score in there. I'm not finding it. We have some volleyball games going on tonight. Monument Valley is hosting Rough Rock, Arizona tonight, and it's a local battle with Green River visiting Grand County on the volleyball court tonight. That's the local scores and schedules tonight for you. Art, I don't know if you've got stuff to report as far as scores go.
You know, most all the 2A games are going to be on Friday. Most 1A games on Friday, as well as you mentioned the Monticello game. So there's not a lot of games. The only other game, there's no other 2A games, obviously, tonight other than San Juan. And the only 3A game is Richfield at North San Pete, and they're currently beating the Hawks 21-0. So Richfield up big, 21-0. Yeah, not a lot of games tonight, obviously. Wednesday nights are hard. And
yeah, it's a little sad. When we do these broadcasts on Friday night, the group of guys who cover sports for the Mid-Utah group, Mid-Utah radio group, and TeamHive.Live, and all those guys working all together in the middle portion of the state. My phone starts blowing up with scores like every moment, and sometimes it's hilarious, sometimes it's just scores being reported on there. But I'm kind of sad tonight. I'm not getting all those texts while we're sitting here doing our broadcast.
Are you feeling
we're kind of flying? We're flying solo tonight, Art.
You're feeling left out?
Yeah.
I can give your number out on the air, and we can get you some text messages.
We better not.
We can blow your phone up real quick.
And I don't know, I usually get a text that my boys are listening back home as well. I haven't got a text that they're listening, so maybe I'll hold off on that. But we'll take another quick break. The teams are out on the field warming up for the second half. Again, it's a 14-13 lead for the visiting San Juan Broncos, the 3-time defending 2A state champions in town, trying to take down the 4A Hurricane Tigers tonight on their home field, and they've got their hands full. We'll return for the start of the second half with Hurricane receiving the kick. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Holiday Construction is your one-stop source for gravel, concrete, excavation services, and custom hauling. We've proudly served San Juan County with quality and dedication for over 40 years. Call Holiday Construction today at 435-678-2028. We're proud supporters of high school sports and our community.
Super busy households need super fast internet, and Emory Telecom has just what you need with this special back-to-school offer. Right now, new customers get their first 4 months of Emory Telecom eFiber internet free. No term contracts, free installation, and equipment. Give us a call right now, 270-4021 in San Juan County, 259-8521 in Moab, or visit EmoryTelecom.com. Emory Telecom, Southeastern Utah's strongest, fastest internet connection.
Hi, I'm Logan Monson, Mayor of Blanding. As a resident hundreds of miles away from the Wasatch Front, I often feel the issues and concerns facing me and my family are not given the attention they deserve. Rural Utah is not merely a backdrop for tourism campaigns, it's where we have chosen to live and raise our families. We need leaders who will prioritize the issues we face and empower our communities to reach their full potential. That's why I'm excited to be a candidate to represent you in the Utah State Legislature. Rural Utahns provide food, fuel, water, and recreation to the entire state, and yet our voices are regularly overlooked. I am proud of our conservative values and a passionate advocate of our way of life. I am also a lifelong Republican, father to 4, and 5th-generation livestock producer. My time in public service has taught me to be effective and deliver results. I will bring this experience to our state capitol to ensure that our district can succeed without government interference and wasteful spending. I will fight to defend our rights to public lands and promote local control. I will unite all 6 counties in our district and rally urban interests to our cause. My commitment to serve others is not just a slogan. It is the very fabric of my life. I have no agenda or motive but to protect our corner of the state as a place where families can flourish. As your representative, I will work with you to build a stronger, more resilient future for rural Utah. I hope to earn your support and invite you to learn more about my campaign at votemonson.com.
Hello, my name is Sam Arongwa. I am a professor at Utah State University here in Blanding campus. I am passionate about prevention. It is vital that we teach and help children and their families by teaching the importance of healthy brains, family time, school time, active time, and family culture. We are helping to protect against and lowering the risk of youth substance misuse and suicide. It takes a community to raise a child. Prevention is about building relationships. We can work together to strengthen one another and help keep San Juan County an amazing place to educate and raise strong families. I know that we can do this. Let's do this.
Back live to Hurricane High School in Hurricane, Utah, as we get set to open the second half. San Juan has the 1-point lead. They kick the ball off, but it's whistled down a little bit too eager on the kicking team, and they're offside. So a mistake to start this second half, and the Broncos will have to kick the ball from 5 yards deeper. And so they'll be kicking from their own 35 instead of their 40. And this is going to give a chance for the volatile Austin McRoberts to return this kick now.
Yeah, you got to watch this kid stay in your lanes and break down because this kid's coming hard and fast at you. We've seen this in the first half. That kid's an athlete out there, and he can hurt you big if you don't stop him before he gets momentum.
So the Broncos kicking from their 35 after going offsides on the initial kick. No time off the clock. A 1-point lead again for San Juan as Trip Palmer boots this one down, but only to the 15 now with the 5-yard penalty. McRoberts just going to try to weave his way through, and a good return up across the 30 to the 31. Man, he is shifty and hard to bring down on these returns.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd kick to him. I think I'd kick the opposite way. But what that does is it makes them, if they still want to run it to him, run that reverse, but it makes them go 30 yards across the field, which gets your kick team down there.
So here we go with the Hurricane offense, and both teams scoring 2 out of 3 possessions in that first half if you don't count the half-ending possession for Hurricane. And they're going to try to regain the lead on this opening possession of the second half. Quarterback Dylan Gabriel, a quick throw, complete over the middle to who else but McRoberts. And, man, it takes 2 or 3 San Juan guys to get him down. That is a 17-yard pass right off the hop.
Yeah, they're not playing him up tight, and that gives the offense the ability to throw that quick slant. You got to play him. You got to kind of play him tight and over the top. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm keying off of him as their skill guy. I'm playing him 3 to 4 yards, maybe even press coverage with my safety cheating that way to take away that inside.
First down for Hurricane across their own 45 to the 47. And a handoff in the backfield, and the Broncos are all over that as they swarm Brody Jacobs and bring him down for a loss of 5.
Cash Palmer there first, and then he's assisted by Jake Ivins on the tackle. And we haven't seen Cash through there a lot tonight, so hopefully he can come out reinvigorated here in the second half and put a lot of pressure on that quarterback and that running back.
That was a big stop for the San Juan D as they poured into the backfield, push Hurricane back to their own 44-yard line for a second down, and it looks like a long loss of 3 on that play, not 5, as I originally said. And we'll see what Dylan Gabriel does from the shotgun here. A little happy feet as the Broncos got in and pressured him. Results in an incomplete pass on the far sideline.
Yeah, McRoberts on the short side of the field this time. Runs out there right behind the outside backer and on in front of the corner trying to find the open zone right there and then able to bring that in. Not a very good pass there by the quarterback, but great pass for the defense. If you're San Juan fan.
That results from pressure. That's the key. That's what is so important, is to get pressure on those quarterbacks. And we say it, Art, every game. It's won and lost on the line, and that's what causes that right there. Is San Juan winning that battle on the line, getting to the quarterback, forcing that errant pass. And it's a big third down now for both teams here from the Hurricane 44. And Gabriel rolls out, tries to throw it up the top, and incomplete, overthrows his intended man by a couple yards. Good coverage in the secondary by San Juan. That's a fourth down. It looks like the Hurricane Tigers bringing the punt team on the field.
Yeah, and I thought they were setting that up to McRoberts over there on that side. He comes in motion across the formation, gets out there and goes out, just does a little quick out route. And I thought that the quarterback may be looking for him, and that's where I was looking. I didn't even look downfield to see the play because I thought, man, they're going to McRoberts, and he's going to be open over there. And he was in space, but obviously wanted to go down the field, saw something they thought they could pick apart deep down the field.
Yeah, it's a good job. The Bronco players covering Brody Jacobs were not looking at the wrong man. And here's a punt now. It's going to be fielded on one hop at the 14 and flags fly, unfortunately, as trying to get a good return is Branton Bethea, but he's not going to get it as the flags are going to bring it back whatever he did. It would be across the 40 here, but...
And you're going to get a defenseless player or blindside block here for sure because... And in the old days, that would have been a great block and a great play, and that's exactly what you teach. But right here, if you're watching on pitcher at Palmer, J.D. squares up number 81, and you can't do that. You can't block them if they're not looking at you or coming towards you. And right when he turns, J.D. hits him, and you're going to get that every time for player safety. That's just one of those rules implemented for player safety. Like it or not, is that a great football play as far as I'm concerned from J.D.? You betcha.
Yeah.
That's what football's all about. But
right.
With safety and things that come with that, they've taken some of those things out of the game. So you've got to be smart enough not to blow somebody up right there.
So it pushes the Broncos back inside their own 15, right around the 14-yard line for 1st and 10. And a lead blocker for Jagger Neves, and J.D. Palmer on first down will net him 6.5 yards on a run there to start the second half for the Broncos. And man, Art, I am involved with the team here. I'm cramping for him here. I can't sit down anymore. I got to stand up for a minute as Jayton Knight drops back and bombs one down the right side. Jake Ivins was the intended man, and it was just a little bit overthrown by a couple yards. He doesn't have a lot of size over there, and it was just out of his reach.
Yeah, good coverage there by the defensive back, step for step with Jake. And if that's Trip Palmer, that's a completion.
Right.
But the defensive back is every bit as big as Jake, and unfortunately just no space there to bring that down.
So the Broncos going for it all right there, trying to go down the field, but now they'll go back to the ground as Jagger Neves will fight for yardage, and I think he's going to get just enough to move the chains as he slides ahead and stretches the ball for 3 yards. And that's a big conversion right there for San Juan from deep in their own territory.
Huge conversion if you're the Broncos. And he gets tripped up, but he's able to fall forward with the football and not go down on his knee first.
Did you say he gets tripped up?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. That's what the Hurricane Tigers are right now, too, down by 1 from Trip Palmer. And speaking of tripped up, oh, my goodness, Jayton Knight had Javen Montella on the far side, but he falls as he's trying to stretch out for that football and unable to make the catch. Another incompletion.
Yeah, just a yard and a half too far on that throw. And unfortunately, everything you got out of the receiver out there just falls incomplete.
And so it is a 2nd down and 10, and Jayton Knight goes to the air again, this time to the far flat. to Jagger Neves, and he weaves his way back through the D. He tried to slip one last tackle over here. If so, he would have had a lot of green grass. But he will go ahead for 12 yards and another first down for San Juan.
Nice screen that time by the Broncos, and they're able to set it up perfectly. And one guy over there for the lineman to block, and they're able to secure that. Nice cutback by Jagger to pick up the first down.
So that's the first completion of the second half for Jayton Knight. And Knight from the shotgun will hand it off. And it's J.D. Palmer this time on the carry. And fighting for yardage still for San Juan. Goes ahead for 3.5.
Yeah, and the officials, I know they're letting them play a little bit, but once your forward progression stops and they start dragging you backwards, you got to blow the play dead right there. You can't let them just keep going. That's when turnovers happen. And not the good kind from Wagon Wheel Pizza.
That's right. Second down and 7 for San Juan. And now this time Jayton Knight makes no mistake. He has Jake Ivins wide open, and he makes the catch all the way down to the Hurricane 20-yard line.
A great pass that time. Jake had the defender by at least 2 yards and unfortunately just ran out of his feet.
Yeah, he fell down right after he caught it, but it's a 35-yard pass and catch from Jayton Knight to Jake Ivins, and now they'll go right back to the ground and hopping and skipping, looking for a hole. Unable to find one ultimately is the quarterback. Well, actually, he got 3 yards on a short carry, so hey, 3 yards a pop will help you out.
Yeah, the inside run game against that defense of Hurricane has been hard to come by tonight. And Hurricane back in a 4-man front, go back to their 4-3 defense.
And Knight with a hard count here, trying to get the Tigers to jump offside. They don't bite.
And this is where you want your inside run game to work. You've got the numbers game here if you're the San Juan Broncos.
But they're going to run it to the outside on the option, and Knight will tuck it himself, and not much, maybe a yard, as he decided to run it off right tackle. Thought he saw a hole there, but it closed up very quickly in a short gain.
Yeah, still trying to just pound it in the middle, but that you want that. If you're Jayton, you probably want that back and pitch that ball out there to Jaggers. He's got the outside. He might pick up 3 or 4 yards. Right now, 3 or 4 yards is all you need.
Yeah, and here's a big third down for San Juan, third and 6, excuse me. But they're going to go to the end zone, and Jayton Knight hits Jake Ivins. He lands after the catch on the 1. It'll be first and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, great catch right there by Jake. I mean, he just goes up and gets it, and again, forward momentum takes him to the turf at the 6-inch line. So now you bring in your double back set, and this is where you just need your power run game. You need leverage on your offensive line.
And Knight will hand off to J.D. Palmer. He'd be the second man through, and he is wrestling his way down to the goal line, but unable to punch it ahead and in. It'll be second down from the 1 and goal.
Yeah, and that play almost had nothing going. They almost lost yardage, but J.D. just so powerful. That's that weight room right there that J.D. Power has, and you talk about wrestling his way in there. He's a fantastic wrestler, and he just knows how to maneuver his body forward and picks up the yardage to keep the ball where it needs to be.
And Knight will hand off again, this time to Jagger Neves, and for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Oh, they're going to rule him down.
I don't know how you rule that down there.
He stretched that ball into the end zone, I thought.
Yeah, that was
terrible. He'll be ruled down at the 1.
And
they're going to go hurry up on 3rd and goal. And Knight will hand off to Neves again, and he's hit, fights his way in on second effort, touchdown, San Juan. They signal it on the far side of the field, so it took a couple of tries. We thought he was in that first time, but it's signaled on the second try, and the Broncos go up 20-13 midway through the third quarter.
And that time, Jagger gets in there, and he gets turned around so his back's facing the end zone. Instead of just going down, he pushes his way back on top of another player, so he's able to come over the goal line, and the far official sees it. Colt makes the correct call.
Wow, 2 1-yard runs right there, and a touchdown, and a Trip Palmer kick is up and good. So he's a perfect 3 of 3, and the Broncos are up by 8 points, 21-13. Again, midway through the third quarter, San Juan has extended the lead after stopping Hurricane on their first possession of the second half. And the Broncos have a little bit of breathing room, but not a whole lot against this team. They are definitely in store for a battle through the duration of this one.
They still have the score on the scoreboard. It's 20-13, Rhett. I don't know if they saw that PAT over there, but by my math, you're right. It should be 21-13.
We're loud. They can hear us, I think. So we'll send it away for a real quick break, and we'll return to Hurricane High School, where it's San Juan 21, Hurricane 13. 6 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural health care, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Back live to Hurricane High School, Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. San Juan has just stretched their lead to 21-13. Just under 6 minutes now to go in this third quarter as Hurricane return the kick up across their 30-yard line to the 33, and they begin there on first down as Gabriel will keep it himself off right guard and gets about 5 on a nice little run right up the middle.
Yeah, he ran that RPO, was going to hand it off, saw the opening, kept the ball himself, picks up a nice gain. You know, and that's just those offensive linemen for Hurricane getting that leverage, opening up that lane, and the tacklers having to come back to make the tackle instead of going forward.
It looks like I am getting a final now. Grand County Girls Soccer winning their first round state tournament game against American Leadership Academy convincingly 4-0. So they will advance on Saturday to the state quarterfinals. Congratulations to the Lady Red Devils. As Hurricane back here in Hurricane now on the football field are going to run for a 1-yard loss. J.D. Palmer on the stop. I missed the ball carrier that time, Art.
That was great. They bring McRoberts across in motion, fake it like they're going to give it to him on a speed around, and then give it to number 10.
Okay, Brody Jacobs on a negative carry.
And J.D. Palmer does not bite on the speed.
There you go.
End around, and he goes right to his assignment and takes out number 10 for a loss.
This is a real big third down right now, I'd say specifically for Hurricane. As they got stopped on their first possession of the second half, the Broncos scored a touchdown. And now if you're Hurricane trying to answer right here, you don't want to have to punt it away a second straight time.
Watch for that quarterback to run here.
Gabriel sends McRoberts. Oh, sorry, it's not McRoberts in motion. And flags do fly here, maybe on a false start.
Yep.
So a mistake by the hometown Tigers.
That's only their third penalty. They have been really good and really disciplined in the penalty game today, but that one could be a huge one.
Yeah, it comes at a tough time if you're a Tigers fan on a big third down play right here. Now 3rd and 11.
But if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm over there telling them, hey, you cannot let that, you've got to spy the quarterback here. You can't let him outside because he is shifty when he gets outside and in that run, on that roll.
So 3rd and 11 for the Tigers as they come up to their own 30.
And they better be watching for number 22 out there too.
Yeah.
This is his bread and butter.
All night long, that's for sure. He's been shifty. Tough to stop. And Gabriel will drop back, and he sees his man, throws it deep to McRoberts, and it's caught in coverage. Are you kidding me? What a catch after a beautiful pinpoint pass down to the 25.
And the quarterback stared that down the whole time.
Amazing.
He never looked that off. You saw it the whole time. As a defender, you've got to recognize the quarterback's eyes. He never takes his eyes off of McRoberts one time.
It's a 44-yard pass. Man, that combo has gashed the Broncos on a couple occasions tonight, and it does again right here as the Tigers are in business near the San Juan red zone here now at the 25-yard line.
Great catch because the defense closed on that pressure, but still, again, if it's me, I might spy him with two guys.
You got to triple team that kid. And there's a good run off left tackle and slinging him around over there. And finally, I thought they were out of bounds, and now they officially are. But it's going to be first down yardage on a 15-yard run for number 1 on his first run of the night.
Yeah, just not very good tackling on that play right there. as they're just reaching out to grab instead of driving through to take a guy down on a tackle. They're just reaching with their arms, and that's never a good sign for a defense in tackling.
Here I am not identifying Dylan Gabriel's number. He wears number 1. I'm like, that's number 1's first carry of the night. No, it's not. That's a 15-yard run for the QB, and a 1st and 10 now in the red zone and just outside the 10 for Hurricane. And a triple threat on the right side on the run. 2 blockers, and it was McRoberts following up the duo, and he'll get about 3. That looked like that might punch through, but good coverage by San Juan on the D.
Great tackle by Jake Ivins there as he comes up off that outside backer position and able to secure that tackle. But, yeah, I tell you, it has kind of been the McRoberts and then what's the quarterback's name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel's show tonight. And at some point you're going to have to dedicate more to number 22 in the passing game.
Yeah, he is scary, that's for sure, especially when he gets open in the open field. And he's a great target for his quarterback, and now they're going to hand to Clyde, and he won't get much. Maybe 3 yards down near the 5. It looks like they'll spot him at the 6.
Yeah, J.D. Palmer able to get a shoestring tackle there and bring him down.
And we're winding down into the final 2 minutes of this third quarter. The Broncos are up 21-13 in a real battle here tonight. Hurricane is trying to make this a 1-point ball game again, or they could tie it with a 2-point conversion if they can score. But a big third down right here from the San Juan 6. They need to get down inside the 2 to move the chains, or, of course, punch it into the end zone. As McRoberts goes in motion, he takes a handoff and then pitches it, and they'll throw it back to the quarterback for a touchdown on a beautifully designed trick play. And it is 21-19. As Hurricane answers on a beauty. I didn't even see who ended up throwing that football, but that's going to be a touchdown catch for the quarterback. And according to the stats, that's his first catch of the season.
Yeah, they do a great job at that trickeration right there. They hand the ball to McRoberts, and he flips it back to, I believe, number 10, who then throws it out there to no one even went with the quarterback on that play. And that's just one of those things that, as a defense, you've got to be, disciplined on that backside. You want to go up there and you want to help with the run. You want to get across the field and help your team tackle. But if you're a backside player, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be involved in the play. But if you don't do your assignment on that backside, then you're going to be the play.
And they will go for 2 to try to tie this thing up, and a great play on defense on the far side by San Juan. It looks like, was that Javen Montella?
22.
Knocking that ball away. He laid out to deflect that pass, and that retains the lead for San Juan at 2 points, 21-19 with exactly 90 seconds remaining. Hey, man, this is a boxing match. These two teams throwing punches here in the second half, going back and forth. We got ourselves a fun game here, Art.
Yeah, and if you're San Juan, go back to that. You've got to you can't let number 22 burn you, McRoberts. You have to, even on their little speed options, those kind of plays, he's getting some yards, but he's not burning you for big yards. It's the down the field where you're getting burned on with him, even with great coverage that time. But you throw a safety over the top on him, and you get that over-the-top coverage, you might get a pick out of that play. So I know a lot of defensive coordinators don't like to, because you kind of feel, I felt like this when I was D coordinator, sometimes it feels like you're wasting a player out there because he's not involved in most of the plays. And so you want to just tell your guys, hey, go do your job one-on-one and win the battle. But at some point, they're going to have to account for him as we get deeper into this fourth quarter here, or he's going to burn him again. He just big play mobility here.
Hey, my stats are unofficial, but we'll get to it here after the kickoff in just a moment, as San Juan has trouble initially fielding that, but now Montella will fake a handoff, and he will return it across the 20, around the 24-yard line. But, hey, Hurricane's second leading rusher on the season, Austin McRoberts, 5 yards unofficially rushing tonight, 144 yards receiving, and a TD. So he's doing his damage through the air tonight from his quarterback as he's getting behind that San Juan secondary. Like you said, Art, the Broncos are going to have to find a way to shut him down. They still don't have an answer for him after almost 3 entire quarters now. But the Bronco offense back on the field, trying to answer Hurricane's most recent touchdown. And a throw over the middle is intercepted as Jake Ivins stopped. I think they had a mix-up in the pattern, and it's a pick 6 as it's returned into the end zone for a Hurricane touchdown. And I believe it was number 12 on the interception, Carmine Lundquist, if that's correct. And let's see the replay.
22.
Is it 22? Is it McRoberts? I thought it was 12. It's 22. My goodness. So the McRoberts show continues here tonight as he gets his second interception of the season, and this one is big. It's a pick 6. And it puts his team ahead 25-21. And now Hurricane on the field to attempt the extra point. And so 2 interceptions on the night for Jayton Knight. Sorry, Art.
They're lining up like they're going for 2. They are.
And I don't think they got in.
Nope, it's an illegal formation.
Okay, that'll be a penalty, excuse me. So that'll punch it back 5 yards here. And they'll try again. Up by 4, the Hurricane Tigers.
I think they're going to kick it now.
So, yeah, they're going to try to just do the standard PAT now that they suffered the penalty. So the Broncos find themselves trailing once again. They've trailed once in this game briefly by 1 point. Excuse me, it wasn't by 1, it was by 6. And when they scored, they regained the lead by 1. And they had a little bit of breathing room, but this pick 6 by Hurricane has flipped the game on its head. And San Juan jumping up and down in the backfield now, trying to distract this kicker. Here comes the PAT. They almost got in to block it. It goes off the upright and back into the end zone. No good. That hit the upright square. And so number 6. Who is that kicking? Do you guys know who that is kicking? Number 6, do you know his name? Dom Alarcon. So I was correct, and I get a pronunciation there too. So Dom Alarcon, 1 of 3 on the night now on his PAT tries. And that keeps it a 4-point game. San Juan down 25-21. Just over a minute to go in the third quarter. In what is now a real battle for the 3-time defending 2A state champions. Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Live from Hurricane, Utah, brought to you tonight in part by Crowley Construction. Dirt, roads, driveways, and more for any job, big or small. Call Crowley Construction. Dependable Auto Repair. Brad Stoddard and his crew get the job done. Flights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports and a great start for your kids. And Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. As the kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback, and that's from Alarcon, and so he's been good in the kicking department tonight. Alarcon, excuse me, he's been good in the kicking department for Hurricane all night tonight, as he's mostly gotten touchbacks on this San Juan kick return team. So a 25-21 lead for Hurricane, and the San Juan offense will go back to work at their own 20.
Minute 14 left in this quarter.
And Jayton Knight has to get right back on the horse after throwing his second interception. This time, he'll complete one, and man, Javen Montello was a shoelace away from breaking that for a TD.
Wow, that would have been explosive for the Broncos here.
And they make a 14-yard catch out to the 34-yard line. So a very quick 14 yards, and it could have been a lot more if Montella had been able to get free there. Jayton Knight takes the snap in the shotgun, has time as he has all night. He'll air one out again for Jake Ivins, and again out of the reach of his intended receiver. He's overthrown Jake on 2 or 3 occasions tonight. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, still being aggressive. Coach Christensen over there wants to go score quick. He doesn't want to get out of what he knows to do and how he calls his offense, and just a little bit outside of the reach of Jake, and I think a little bit of a push maybe.
And so 2nd down and 10 at the San Juan 32, and Jagger Neves gets a catch out of the backfield, gets some blocking, weaves his way back and forth, now to the sideline, and he's forced out of bounds, and they're still grabbing a hold of him over here It'll be right around midfield for another 14-yard gain and a first down for San Juan.
I think Jagger's got a cramp over here, but yeah, out of bounds, and the defender grabs around the helmet and tries to wrestle him out of bounds. But clearly out of bounds. There could have been a penalty there if the official decided to throw that, but decided not to. And yeah, I think Jagger's cramping here as he's down.
I feel his pain. So we've got. Is he still down on the sideline?
He's still down here. We can't see him because he's behind the whole player, but I'm thinking they're working on that leg.
Yeah, and it's the training staff is here from Utah Tech. And we've got a familiar young lady out there on that training squad, and that's Atlanta Black, who I announced a whole lot of basketball games for Atlanta Black, and she played with an Adair as well.
That's
Mr.
right.
Adair.
My oldest daughter and her were teammates on the girls' basketball team.
For Monticello.
They took third, I think, 2 years in a row at the state tournament.
And I was just a little bit surprised to see Atlanta come sauntering in right before I talked with Jerry Cowan tonight on the pregame interview. We had a brief conversation as well, but she said that they'd be immediately on any injury, and there they are. That training staff from Utah Tech is out there working right now on Jagger Neves, who is having some sort of issue. We're hoping it's just cramping on the sideline over here, but yeah, he's got the stiff leg as he gets up, walking like Frankenstein. Very appropriate this time of year. And he'll have to go off for a play. Boy, that thing's locked up about like mine was just a few minutes ago, man.
He's more than a play over there. They're going to have to get over there and get him hydrated up, some salt tabs, and get the roller bar out and really work that knot out of there, get that blood flowing.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, the roller bar.
I tell you, they hurt like nothing you've ever felt, but they feel so good at the same time.
Yeah. Well, that's a big loss for the San Juan offense here now, as they'll have to do without Jagger Neves for at least a play. And the Broncos trying to regain the lead after going down by 4 here on a pick 6 from Hurricane.
37.2 seconds. Now the clock's running.
And that's what's remaining here in the third quarter. Still got 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, but there's J.D. Palmer blocking for Jayton Knight, a design quarterback run, and that'll go for a short gain, 2.5 yards.
Yeah, just haven't gotten anything going on that quarterback RPO draw. Just hard yards tonight for Jayton up the middle.
Yeah, he's got just 16 yards on 6 carries now. And he'll drop back and look to throw this time on probably the final play of the third quarter, and it's just missed in and out of the hands of a diving Trip Palmer at the 10-yard line. Man, that's 2 that have been very close for Trip Palmer, but just not able to pull that in.
Yeah, that was a catch all the way. That was right in the breadbasket, and he's just unable to secure it as he goes to the ground. That's a huge, huge play for San Juan right here.
Yeah, the incompletion does stop the clock, so we will have one last third quarter play here, and it's a big one. 3rd down and 8. Just on the Hurricane side of midfield here at the 49. Knight working alone in the shotgun. Empty set. He'll throw incomplete on the far side right through the hands of Javen Montella. And that's how the quarter ends. Not exactly how the Broncos would have liked it to end right there. And they'll have a decision to make at midfield on 4th down when we come back for the third quarter. It's a 25-21 lead for the Hurricane Tigers here tonight in Hurricane. We'll come back for the 4th. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
Back live to Hurricane High School as we begin the fourth quarter here tonight. The Broncos are down by 4, and a big fourth down play as Jayton Knight throws incomplete. They went for it. Knight can't connect with Branton Bethea on the near sideline, and it's San Juan's second turnover on downs in this ball game right at midfield.
Yeah, great play call there. Just a little bit long for the receiver on the out route there. Gets to the sticks. It's going to be a first down to catch. And now you really need your defense to step up here. You've given up some big plays. You really need some big plays at your defense. We haven't had a turnover tonight on the defense. They've had turnover. You need to, if you're a defensive player, you got to take it upon yourself here to turn the tide of this game.
And they've got McRoberts in the slot back position. They'll send him in motion and hand off to him on basically what's a slot back reverse. And he'll just rattle off a quick 8 yards on this San Juan D. Man, he is tough to bring down.
Yeah, and Jake Ivins doing whatever he can to get off that block. And I think maybe a holding call could have been called as the offensive lineman gets inside hook on Jake as he's coming through him. But the official obviously didn't see it that way. So you just got to stand tall here and get pressure and not let number 22 beat you.
And they bring it back to the line of scrimmage, a little deeper in San Juan territory now. Actually, that play got them into San Juan territory. They started on their own 49, now down to the Bronco 44. McRoberts in motion again. This time they'll hand to Clyde, the first man through, and he will push it ahead for a Hurricane first down, a 4-yard run. So the offense right now methodical but steady for Hurricane and moving the chains and in business at the San Juan 40.
Yeah, this works into what Coach Cowan wants to do with that wing T offense. Just move the ball 4 yards of carry. If you can get more, great, but you want 4 yards of carry and you just want that clock to run, and this is all working out in your favor.
Tell you what, man, there's a reason why he co-owns the state record in winning streak with 48 wins in a row. And his team right now has bought in, and they look pretty solid out here. And right up the middle comes Hurricane and a crowd of players in there. Not much action for the running back for the Tigers. So that time the Broncos clog it up in the middle and stop Clyde for just a 1-yard run.
And if you're San Juan, you're not necessarily concerned with the clock right now. You just need to stop them and get that ball back. You can't let them just keep getting first down and hopefully not a score here. You've got to just stop them, 3 and out hopefully on this drive right here, and get that ball back so you can get your offense back on the field.
It's a 2nd down and 9 inside the San Juan 40-yard line. And they'll hand off to the motion man, and it's Brody Jacobs around the left side, and he goes across the 30. This is going to be another Hurricane first down. As that was a beautiful run that time for Jacobs as he got to the outside, turned it up the sideline, and gained just enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they're just able to get that inset. And if you can get your offensive end out there and swinging that kind of like a swinging gate, then you're going to control the outside of that field, and they've got the running backs that'll get out there and make some moves.
That's 3 main guys they're going to tonight. Of course, McRoberts, we called his name all night, Connor Clyde, and Brody Jacobs. That gets Jacobs back up into positive run yardage with that one. And most importantly for Hurricane, moves the chains again as they keep the San Juan offense off the field. And look at the shiftiness for McRoberts. Boy, you don't want to see him bounce it to the outside if you're San Juan. And they finally get out to him on the sideline, but not before he gets down inside the 10-yard line. And this is a 20-yard run for the junior. And his longest run of the night will give him a first down and goal, as they have it at the 9-yard line. So Hurricane is driving. And with just 9:30 left in the ball game now and the clock running, Art, they're doing exactly what they want to do on this drive, just like you said.
Yeah, they're just going out there and imposing their will on the San Juan defense.
So 1st and goal. The Broncos looking for a huge stop here in the fourth quarter. Trying not to go down by 2 scores, and a big tackle in the backfield as number 6 for San Juan, George McNaughton, gets in there and slings down the running back. Jacobs on the carry that time, and it goes backwards 5 yards.
Yeah, and McRoberts is over here trying to beg Coach Cowan to give him back the ball, and they're going to bring him out of the game. But he wanted the ball. He wanted to be the man to go in and get the 6 points here.
So it's a 2nd down and goal, but now back outside the 10 at the 14-yard line. That was a big loss on the tackle from George McNaughton. Big stop for San Juan, and they'll look for more of that on this series as they're trying to get a huge goal line stand here. Dylan Gabriel takes the snap in the shotgun. He's pressured, throws into the corner of the end zone. It is caught. Is it in bounds? It is. It's a touchdown. A touchdown as C.J. Trump makes the 14-yard touchdown catch. And the Tigers go up 31-21 on the 3-time defending 2A state champions with 8:22 left in the game.
Yeah, he catches that ball right here, high points it. Great replay action by Caleb Carr. Definitely in bounds, gets a foot in. I don't know if that, well, yeah, that ball is definitely across, but his foot comes down. So obviously that official determined he came down with the ball, caught it in the end zone, and now Hurricane's got a player down on the field.
So we've got a bit of a timeout before the PAT here, but again, the big story is with 8:22 to go in the game, the Broncos on their heels, down by 10 now, and going to have to find a way to get back in this one after being stopped on their last 2 possessions. One was a pick 6, and the most recent a turnover on downs. So the offense has been unable to punch in but 1 touchdown here in this second half. Excuse me, let me take, the 1 rushing touchdown from Jagger Neves. And so with this injury timeout on the field, we'll step aside as well.
It's the quarterback for Hurricane too,
Oh,
Rhett.
my goodness.
And he's holding his right arm.
Well, we will step aside and we'll pay attention. We'll come back here and, well, they're actually about to lift him up. So, yeah, he is doing some limping. I don't know. I didn't see him.
He's holding his right arm. It's his shoulder.
So, yeah, I wonder if he was slung down after he threw that pass or if someone landed on him. I didn't see.
And he is not. He is in some pain, so I'm wondering if he's got a shoulder injury here. I guess we'll see if he comes back in this game. But the damage is already done if you're the Hurricane Tigers here.
And we'll see who comes in for the Tigers. It's likely going to be Cowan, a freshman. Cannon Cowan. But first it's just a PAT, so we're not going to see the Hurricane offense here. It's going to be a kick from Alarcon first. He's 1 of 3 tonight, trying to make this an 11-point game. And he does as he slices it through. 2 of 4 on the night. And the Broncos are going to have to dig deep here with just 8:22 left in the game, down by 11. We'll take a break and be right back here. It's Friday Night Lights live from Hurricane High School on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
You don't have to be sidelined by sports injuries in San Juan County. Precision Rehab provides physical therapy in Monticello and Blanding, as well as Montezuma Creek and Monument Valley, where our therapists have helped athletes of all ages get back in the game since 1996. Precision Rehab is dedicated to restoring you and your loved ones to peak performance when pain and injury slow you down. We offer innovative, effective treatments that make a difference. Treatment is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Call 435-678-3869 for an appointment. That's 435-678-3869. Or find out more at PrecisionRehabUtah.com.
Back live to Hurricane High School, Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. San Juan getting set to receive a kick after going down by 11 points here on this most recent Hurricane Tiger touchdown. And Art, the Broncos come into this game with 22 takeaways on the season, but tonight it's been the turnovers that have hurt San Juan as the Broncos have turned it over twice. I thought this was going to be a touchback, but San Juan's going to be able to run it back as Jagger Neves will get a return out to the 18 before he's swallowed up over there. Man, he ran to where all the coverage was, unfortunately. And a tough return for Jagger Neves that time. The Broncos have a lot of field to work with.
Yeah, they didn't get over there and set up that wall very well on the kick return team. And Jagger ran to that wall, and that wall was closed up when he got there.
Yeah. So we'll see if the San Juan offense can strike quickly here. They have struggled on their past 2 possessions and find themselves down by 2 scores here with 8:14 now left in this game.
And some big drops, and they need their receivers to be big time here on this drive.
And do you see Jagger's obviously back in the game, so that's good on that return. There's a quick pass to Branton Bethea. He makes a catch, and now a little bit of extra yardage after the catch as he's going to pick up about 8. So a nice little pitch and catch right there. And the Broncos have a 2nd and 2. As that was Bethea's just his 2nd catch of the night, according to my stats, which are entirely unofficial. Jayton Knight has a lot of time, but that was nearly picked off again as that pass was a bit telegraphed. And is that McRoberts who undercut that pattern? And now he's down.
He's cramping.
With, something. He's flopping like a fish over there.
Been a physical game by both teams here.
Boy, for Jayton Knight, definitely an uncharacteristic night tonight that started right from the beginning of the game. And right now he's just 18 of 34 on the night. So he's way under his season average, and he's got 227 pass yards on the night. So that's not too shabby. But it's like you said, Art, right now San Juan needs their big players to step up and make big plays right here down by 11 points.
Yeah, turnovers have killed them tonight. Big drops have killed them tonight. And you just can't do that against a quality team like Hurricane. And at the end of the day, whoever wins is going to win. Whoever loses is going to lose. And both these teams are going to go back to their respective classifications. San Juan's going to be in the hunt for another 2A title. And Hurricane will probably be out of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's how it's going to iron out. But this is a great game for San Juan to push them physically and mentally, no matter how it turns out here, to go on their playoff run because they're looking for that 4th state title. If you're Hurricane, this is a great game just to get a win under your belt. A struggling team that only has 3 this year, only 2 the last 4 years, 1 the year before that. So this would double their win output from the last 4 years. So you like that. And honestly, this is a game that you'd rather play this week than sit at home like we did last year and not play.
Right.
And you just hope you don't, that everybody comes out of this, especially on both sides of the ball for Hurricane with their quarterback going out. You hope that young man's okay and nothing you hate.
Yeah.
As a competitor, you want to fight hard, you want to play hard, but you want both teams to walk off the field healthy. And now we have McRoberts coming off with a bad cramp. So both of their studs, this does not, if San Juan get a quick score here, this works to San Juan's benefit that both their players have now kind of been sidelined.
Yeah, been a couple players who've been helped off the field with solid, stiff legs with the cramps there. First Jagger Neves and now McRoberts for Hurricane as Jayton Knight will rumble ahead right up the middle and a first down for San Juan at the 30-yard line. So a little 3-yard run, sorry.
You got both those players off the field. If you're San Juan, this is where you got to just be aggressive and go down the field.
And Knight will look to pass again. This time he airs one out and has Jake Ivins, makes the catch at the Hurricane 40 and down inside the 30 he goes. That's a big play. That's a 10, 20, 30, 40-yard pass.
And Jake tries to cut back inside. You just run that out, Jakey. Just keep motoring down the field. Don't try to cut it back inside.
And that sets San Juan up down inside the 30-yard line. They're still getting the chains down there as the Broncos snap the ball. Jagger Neves on that inside shovel pass from the slot back position and nothing doing.
That was actually Jake.
Sorry, Jake Ivins, excuse me. Yeah, that's his bread and butter, but not that time as he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the defensive line for Hurricane was definitely not fooled on that play. Great penetration.
And a 0-yard pass completion that time to Jake Ivins. And now they'll throw, Jake Knight will throw into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan, if he's in bounds, and he is. And who is that who
Number
made
16.
the catch? That is Owen Adams. Owen Adams with the 28-yard touchdown pass. And you talk about a quick strike that San Juan needed. And there it is right there. 79 yards receiving for Owen Adams in this ball game. And a touchdown catch. And that is, let's see, for Adams, his 6th touchdown reception of the season. We'll see if Trip Palmer can add the PAT and make this a 4-point ball game. It's a low kick, but it's through. So he is a perfect 4 of 4 on the night. And it is 32-28, and now we'll see about the starting quarterback and the starting running back / receiver for Hurricane. This could be huge if they're not able to return now that San Juan has answered and brought this back to a one-score ball game.
Yeah, and they're still working on McRoberts down here on the sideline, so it doesn't look like he'll be in on this kick return.
Yeah, and he's a big returner.
And I'm looking for their quarterback to see where he's at. He's over here on the sideline with his pads off. He's not coming back in the game, Red.
Wow. So
his pads are off, and they're looking at his right shoulder.
My goodness, what a blow for the Hurricane Tigers here in this fourth quarter. And so it'll be some new personnel offensively for the Tigers.
And if you're Coach Cowan right now, you're calling on your underclassmen. You're saying, listen, guys, we've got this far. You know, huge home win for us here on senior night. We've got to get somebody else to contribute here in this game, because obviously the quarterback's not coming in. His shoulder pads are off. They're working on that right shoulder. He's done. And McRoberts is still on the turf over here trying to get the cramps out. So these players both, who knows, McRoberts might come back. We'll wait and see.
Well, the kick is away.
Drops it.
Oh my goodness. And this is a little young man trying to return this. He is battling hard for yardage. My goodness.
Number 9.
What a run back. And I'm not sure which one that is. I've got 2 9s on my roster. Do you know which one? Ty Borcher? Okay, so yeah. It's Ryan. Is it Ryan Borchard? Oh, okay.
So now we'll see who comes out at quarterback, because McRoberts is still on the turf. So you're losing your slot, your wing, and your slot receiver. And now you're going to have number 14 back there.
Wow. So this,
quarterback.
Let's see who this is going to be then. It's not who I thought it was going to be. This must be Talon Matt. No, it's not. There's a senior, Kruger Ashby. So I think it's Ashby who's at quarterback now.
Hands off to number 10, Rhett.
Short gain. 1 yard run for Brody Jacobs. Excuse me as we scramble here trying to get our personnel right. But, boy, so is Hurricane.
And now the clock does become your enemy if you're San Juan, as it comes under 6:14 now and ticking. Because Hurricane, they just want to extend this field and run this ball and use as much clock as they can.
Yeah, the Broncos looking for a 3-and-out right here on this drive, and of course Hurricane now taking their time to snap the football, taking all the time they can, as they'll hand off right tackle, I believe it is, and not much.
Number 15 tackled by J.D. Palmer.
Connor Clyde on the carry, and again just 1 more yard. And so right now Hurricane just trying to do it by way of the clock, obviously missing their starting quarterback and running back right now, and not able to get a whole lot of offensive output because of that. And so, boy, yeah, as far as I know, let me see. Yeah, this quarterback has not apparently thrown any passes yet this season. I don't see him on the stats unless it's a different jersey number.
It's Cowan?
So it is Cowan.
It is Cowan.
It is Cowan. Okay, just wearing a different jersey than what Max Preps is showing.
And we're going to get a timeout.
So that is Cannon Cowan. Thank you, guys. That's who we thought was coming in. And so Cannon Cowan in there. Just wearing a different jersey number than we thought.
So this timeout benefits San Juan. It's called by Hurricane because obviously huge 3rd down for them with their 2 best players on the bench over here. And you've got to move that ball, and you want to make sure that your young freshman quarterback has the right play call and knows the right read here. And if you're San Juan, you've got to close down those lanes, and you cannot let anybody get past you here. This is huge 1st down for both teams. This could decide the game at 5:13.
I'm a little bit blown away, Art, that the student section is not here stomping the heck out of these stands and making a lot of noise right here. They're chatting and hanging out.
They were earlier, but
they're looking the wrong way right now, man. They're looking the wrong way.
There's a lot of them here, though.
Yeah, the place is packed. It is a fun atmosphere here tonight at Hurricane High School. Beautiful field, beautiful evening. The big H is lit up on the hill behind the school from our vantage point. And we are in store for an exciting final 5 minutes here tonight.
Almost looks like a 1 and 2 dots and a 1 to me.
You're right, it does. Yeah, a lot of the lights are out.
Here goes Cowan.
Cannon Cowan looking to pass downfield, or at least fake like he was. He's going to run it to the sideline and then be swallowed up by some Broncos.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
And now they're going to drive him into the ground, and it will be a penalty on San Juan, and that is going to be a huge one against the Broncos. That will move the chains.
And that's what we talk about all season is penalties killing you on drives. And right here they stop them on third down.
Yeah.
And now they're going to get a personal foul roughing the passer.
Yeah, they would have gotten the ball back with 5 minutes to go in the game, but instead Hurricane will have a new set of downs.
They're talking about it, and I think they're going to just talking about the spot and where to mark it from. So it's a spot foul, so we'll see if it's a 15-yard penalty because there's no automatic. Is there? I don't think there's any automatic first downs in high school football.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a 5-yard run in arrears for Cowan.
I wish our buddy Jess was here, so
he's here. He's here somewhere tonight, so I don't know. I did see him. He's actually staying in my hotel, so I saw Jess tonight. But we'll see what they rule here. They're still discussing this. And if you're what can you do right there, Art? When you hear the whistle, how can you stop what was going on right there with those 3 Bronco defenders tackling the quarterback?
That's just a bad spot to be in if you're San Juan kids, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a first down. Oh, it is. He just wanted to be dramatic here. Yep, just dramatic. And now we have a sideline warning against Hurricane, but that doesn't matter.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers as they push the ball across the 35 with that penalty, and the Broncos hurt themselves there.
Yeah,
and now
go ahead.
Coach Christensen is giving the officials an earful over on the far side. And
that's just an unfortunate where you don't know if they didn't hear the whistle or what, and the clock was still running here after the penalty. So, the home down clock operator, you're going to get some time put back on, obviously.
Wow, so a lot of things going on here now. I think, was there like 6 minutes left?
Yeah.
I don't know how much time it was, but
I think it was over 5. I think it was 5:01.
Clock showing 4:47 right now.
We're going to see. I think that's what Coach Christian is arguing is. But we'll see if they put any time back on the clock or not.
So the ball spotted at the 36-yard line of Hurricane. And Hurricane with the football. And a new set of downs now with somewhere around 5 minutes left in the game.
It's one of those things that, you talk about the interceptions, the turnovers. That right there is just as big a play as those are. And you don't know if you just didn't hear the whistle or what, the excitement of the play, and you hate for that to happen. But as a player, you got him stopped. You got to be aware that, hey, I can't just power him to the turf. And that's an interpretation call by the official. They figured they thought that, they were too aggressive, that they – personal foul there, and that's why they get paid the big bucks to ref these games, I guess. But I don't know what the discussion is now other than I'm assuming clock it time, but I have no idea.
I don't know. We would possibly have a replay to know where it was. We could maybe help them out. But
I don't. Our clock doesn't work on the replay because we don't have the Daktronics, so we're just zooming it off the camera. So when we run a replay, we don't see the
clock
time.
disappears.
We don't see the time. Okay. We see the current time and not.
Never mind. We can't help them. So we'll bow out of that argument. And the refs still discussing this. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Live from Hurricane tonight, brought to you in part by Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life in the Intermountain West. Also tonight, Napa Motor Parts. Get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. And Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, offering a wide variety of quality customized products.
The other thing that penalty did, Red, is it allowed McRoberts back on the field now
to
be a weapon.
Yeah, so that was a big, long timeout. And so they've got McRoberts all rolled out and uncramped, and he's back out on the field. And that is a huge bonus for Hurricane. So, a lengthy timeout and still extending here now as these refs still talking about it.
They are putting 4.52 back on, so they did add some time to the clock.
So 4:52 is what's left in the ball game, and now Hurricane with a first down. Cannon Cowan has had to take over for Dylan Gabriel at the quarterback position after Gabriel was injured on that last beautiful touchdown play.
Clock running. They're going to wait and use all the clock they can here.
And so, again, a first down. And so now, if you're San Juan, it's almost imperative right now to get a stop on this set of downs.
And, if you're San Juan coach, you're like, man, we had them.
And they will hand off to Clyde. Oh, no, they didn't. I was fooled.
Oh.
And now another flag comes in late as the Broncos make a stop on the sideline over here. Brant Bethea coming up from the pile.
Yeah, the quarterback was giving himself up on the slide, and Bethea went down and lowered the head. And, yeah, it's that we've talked about it all year, is about keeping your composure and not letting these little things. And now 2 drive extending plays, which now puts Hurricane on San Juan's side of the field. And now you're at 4:18. And so it's self-inflicted penalties, self-inflicted wounds here that are killing you tonight. And you got to be a better team than that in a game like this.
Yeah, and so now the Broncos back in their own territory. And, yeah, they've got to find a way to dig deep here and move past the mistakes as Hurricane has a first down at the San Juan 44.
And they're going to want to run the clock here to the 10 seconds. So if you're Coach Christensen, you might want to think about a timeout here too.
Yeah,
it's third down.
It's down under 4 minutes now left in the game. And they're not even set now for Hurricane. They're waiting until, like you said, that 10-second count off. And now they will get set and run the play. As Cannon Cowan will hand off, and 4 Broncos stop that man at the line of scrimmage. I didn't see. It looks like it was Clyde who was the ball carrier.
Yep, number 15. Get a timeout by San Juan here.
Yeah,
3:36 left on the clock.
No gain on that play, and the Broncos finally use their first timeout. So 3:36 left in the game. San Juan stops the clock. They're down 32-28. The starting quarterback is out for Hurricane with an injury. So Cannon Cowan has taken over.
And he's done a tremendous job, too. He's extended the play. It might have been penalties, but he has extended the play just by his toughness.
So we are winding it down here tonight. The Broncos have to have a stop on this set of downs. If Hurricane gets a first down, they're getting really close to the point where they can just run the clock out. San Juan has 2 timeouts remaining. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, brought to you in part tonight by Primary Residential Mortgage. With 30 years of know-how, they'll structure the best deal for you. And San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. And after this San Juan timeout, Broncos, of course, would love to force a turnover right here. It's been the turnovers that have hurt the Broncos tonight. 2 interceptions, one of them for a touchdown.
Well, it's been the penalties on this drive because they had them 3rd and 9, and they go out and punt. So, it's that right there, turning point of the game.
And here comes McRoberts, and he's going to gash San Juan, and very close to first down yardage on a second effort. He is right at the sticks. I think it is a first down. It is, as he goes inside the 35. So the Hurricane Tigers, after getting their big running back, gash him right here and move the chains.
Yeah, and the clock's at 3:20 now, and all San Juan can do is sit there and hope that they can get a 3 and out here. But you're gonna see this clock taken down by Hurricane every play, and if they keep getting big yards, you don't need. Then the timeouts are pretty much worthless.
So 1st and 10 now inside the 35 of San Juan. And this time Clyde will get the handoff. And yeah, right now if you're the Broncos, you really almost need a turnover, as this one goes for 2 yards for Clyde. And let's see. Yeah, 2 yards for Clyde gives him 37 yards on the night. Again, my stats are entirely unofficial, and we know the Hurricane Tigers aren't going to be going hurry up here, as they're winding it down to near 2:30 left in this game. And a 2nd down and 8 coming. And my guess is they're going to go back to McRoberts here in one way or another. They'll send him in motion, and indeed they will hand to him, and he cuts right up the middle, gets some good blocking, and picks up about 4. And San Juan will use their 2nd timeout, as this will be a 3rd down and 4 with 2:14 to go in the game.
Yeah, San Juan's really got it. You can't have any more self-inflicted wounds here. You've got to get a stop here on 3rd, and we did see their field goal kicker warming up at a 30-yard field goal earlier, but he was missing them wide to the left and short, so I don't think he has the leg to kick a 40-yarder. But you've got to get out of this 3rd down here. 2:15 left, 1 timeout.
Yeah, this is 4 down territory for Jerry Cowan and his Hurricane Tigers, who are looking for a big win here tonight against the 3-time defending 2A state champions, the 4A Hurricane Tigers, who are 3-6 in their league, but obviously are a formidable team.
Well, you're just looking for a win if you're the Hurricane Tigers.
That's right.
You're wanting that 4th win out of this season. You go in the playoffs next week. More than likely, they're going to get a moderate to high seed game against a team that probably has beat them in the season, and so there's no guarantee after that if you're Hurricane. So this is the win you want for your season right here.
Yeah, and it's they can taste it right now. This is 4-down territory, so they've got 2 more shots to move the chains. And if they move the chains here, the ball game is over. So for San Juan, it's an imperative stop. It's a must stop right here for your game tonight.
I wouldn't doubt to see him go a hard count here, try to get him to jump.
Yeah, you got to be aware of everything if you're the San Juan defense. And now Hurricane's going to call a timeout. So back-to-back timeouts with 2:15 left. And so they'll discuss it again. They wanted to come out maybe and take a look at what San Juan was bringing defensively there.
Yeah, for sure. And now they'll come back and they'll call a different play here.
Well, the story right now for Hurricane is that Dylan Gabriel, the starting quarterback who caught a touchdown pass tonight, that's right, he also threw 3 and left the game with injury. He was 8 of 11 at the time for 195 yards and 3 TDs. No interceptions tonight for him, but Cannon Cowan has had to come in, the freshman, and try to take this thing to the finish line for the Hurricane Tigers, and he has done a great job since coming in. It helps him that he's got Austin McRoberts back in the game. While McRoberts was out, they were struggling, but boy, the late hit or the personal foul when San Juan's defenders drove the quarterback into the turf way back near the end zone has really turned this last few minutes on its head. It really changed what would have happened.
It also helps him that he's been running his dad's offense since he was 6 years old.
That's right. Since he was in the crib, basically. I didn't see who carried this as McRoberts, and the Broncos get a huge stop on McRoberts. That has been rare tonight, but J.D. Palmer in there to make the stop, and it's a timeout for San Juan. So this is the last-ditch effort for the Broncos. They forced the 4th down as they tackled McRoberts for a loss right there, and now with 2:08 to go, they got to have a stop.
And Hurricanes 1 of 1 on 4th downs tonight, 100%.
So if the stats bear out, there you go. But yeah, big 4th down. This will be a 4th down, and it looks like about 6 to go. They need to get inside the San Juan 25 to, it looks like, about the 23. The ball is spotted at the 29. So this is your ball game coming up after this timeout on this 4th down play. And if San Juan can get the football back with 2 minutes to go, you never know. They can do anything, but they've got to get it back here. They've got to get a stop first before they can count any chickens. So looking for a miracle comeback in this game, but you got to have a stop on 4th down right here. And again, I'm surprised that the student section is just so docile over here in front of us. It's packed, but they're not biting their nails or anything. They're just hanging out. As Cannon Cowan brings them to the line of scrimmage, working from the shotgun. San Juan has to have a stop right here. They go hard count, and the Broncos a great job to not jump offside and give it to them right there, and a timeout for Hurricane. Wow, so back-to-back timeouts as they're using them all here now with just over 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, and if I'm Coach Cowan, I go for this. I mean, you're on your own. You're on the San Juan 30 here. You don't have the leg for a field goal, and you're not going to punt it here. So go for it. What's the worst that can happen? You don't get it. Well, you run some clock, though. You tell your quarterback or whoever you get the ball to, listen, stay in bounds. Don't go out of bounds. I mean, the clock's going to stop at the change of possession, but run around. Get as many yards as you can. Go east to west if you can to keep that clock ticking. Just, I'd go for it here. I mean, obviously they are, and if you pick it up, you win the game. If you don't, you go out and play defense. So,
yeah, and I believe both teams are out of timeouts now.
I believe they are too.
And so everybody's gotten their money's worth on the timeouts here in the second half. And, so at this point, I don't know. You wouldn't go hard count here maybe, I guess, unless you then go ahead and snap it. But we'll see if maybe Hurricane tries to get San Juan to jump again, but they're probably likely going to have to snap it here, and San Juan must have a stop to keep
this. I go to Mick Roberts here if it's me.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. We'll see if the Broncos can stop this and extend the ball game. Mick Roberts does get the handoff, but he pitches to another man. And he's going to make a couple of moves and now throw it downfield, and it is caught. Is it in bounds? It is, and that is going to secure the deal for the Hurricane Tigers as Cannon Cowan makes a catch on the same play that got him the touchdown when Dylan Gabriel caught it in the end zone.
Yeah, no one went with Cowan. He just slipped out there and able to secure that on the sidelines and get the big first down, and Hurricane 100% on fourth downs.
Unbelievable. What a play, and I'm guessing it was Brody Jacobs who threw the touchdown pass, and right here he throws the game-ending pass as that moves the chains down inside the 15 of San Juan. And a 1st and 10 for Hurricane, and now they can just run the clock out, I believe.
I'm not sure what the discussion is by the officials.
It may have been a sideline situation. I'm not sure.
There was no call, so.
Yeah, Coach Cowan, I think, was just explaining he was coming out to talk to his quarterback.
Yeah, it was out of bounds, so the clock is stopped at 2:02.
Okay, so he stepped out, and, yeah, clock is stopped. But at this point, I think they can, I believe they're able to just run it out. Am I right?
They've got to run this play here, and then they'll be able to run it out.
And so right now, if you're Hurricane, you got to hang on to the football. And they will hand off to Clyde, and he will slip up the inside the 10-yard line, still fighting for yardage. They'll spot him at the 9. It's a pickup of 5. But now we're down to 1:40 to go in this ball game, and I believe Hurricane can go into victory formation.
Yeah, and San Juan, they're ripping at the ball, and that's why they get such a big run there. Is they're trying to create a turnover here because they know that at a minute 30, clicking down here, that they don't have much to go for here if they can't get a fumble. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Cowan just downs it here, not to get the turnover.
Yeah, and it's tough if you're a Bronco fan, Art, but when you look back at this one, it was when the real turning point here in the latter stages of this fourth quarter is when the Broncos would have been getting the football back with 5 minutes to go, and unfortunately got the personal foul penalty, driving the quarterback into the turf. And from that point on, that is what allowed Hurricane to keep the football and extended their drive down all the way now inside the 5 as Clyde gets another carry. And it will be a 3rd down and maybe 6 inches here.
49 seconds.
So another 5-yard run for Clyde. And, yeah, down to the final 40 seconds of this game. I think it's at this point there's really no need to huddle. They can just come into the victory formation, but, of course, they're going to use all the time before they snap it.
They're going to take a delay game here.
So the clock will stop on that penalty if that's what they're doing.
Yep.
And it is.
Stop with 21.5 seconds left.
And so all they've got to do is snap the ball one more time. So it is just a formality at this point as that moves the ball back to the San Juan 10-yard line. But I'm guessing we won't see another offensive play here. Should just be a kneel down if you're the Hurricane Tigers. And they're going to get their 4th win of the season. The Broncos
victory formation
are going to drop to 8-2 on the season. But, boy, this bonus game with the 4A Hurricane Tigers was a fun one. And if you look back on it, if you're San Juan, I think it was within your grasp. But the mistakes tonight, the turnovers, and especially those late personal foul penalties really killed you here tonight. And the Broncos lose their 2nd game of the season. It's a 32-28 final in favor of the Hurricane Tigers here tonight. And we will step aside. We'll return and begin the Friday Night Lights post-game show on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Return with us. It is Friday Night Lights on a Wednesday night on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Here at Lyle Northern Electric, we take pride in our highly qualified team, dedicated to serving our community. Whether you need commercial, residential, or solar electrical services, our certified experts are ready to meet your needs. We are proud to support our community, especially our youth and high school athletics. Lyle Northern Electric, serving our community since 1957.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance your home or property? Ask for the professionals at Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency. Anderson Oliver Title has provided title insurance and real estate closing services in San Juan and Grand Counties for 25 years. Anderson Oliver Title isn't just another out-of-town company. It's the only locally owned and operated title company in southeastern Utah. The owners and employees at Anderson Oliver Title are excited to support our communities and are proud to support high school athletics and activities.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing and Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
Utah is our home, unique in its strengths and struggles. And sadly, suicide in Utah is one of our greatest challenges. So people across the state are coming together to answer the call, to change our culture around suicide and mental health, to give hope and provide genuine help. Together, we can get through, lift up, look ahead, and live on. Learn how you can reach out at liveonutah.org.
No matter what you've got planned for the weekend, a home makeover, a landscaping project, a backyard barbecue, your neighbors at Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding have what you need. You'll find great buys on paint, tools, and yard and garden supplies, not to mention grills, patio furniture, and pool care essentials. We carry top brands like Clark & Kensington, Craftsman, Scotts & Weber, and our helpful associates can answer all your questions. For national brands and local expertise, you can always count on Red's Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Desert Rivers Credit Union is proud to team up with the communities in our corner of the state. A nationwide network of ATMs and branches, full line of mortgage products, local decision-making, low fees, and great rates for every credit score are just a few of the things we bring to the team. And to top it off, we are for people, not profit. Come by and meet our team at one of our 4 branch locations or visit desertriverscu.com. We love our communities and are proud to support our youth.
Here at Utah Navajo Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is the Four Corners source for high-quality custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. They specialize in designing beautiful, long-lasting cabinetry and countertops tailored to your specific need, and they offer competitive pricing. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is family-owned and operated. Call them today for a free quote, 435-678-2523. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is a proud sponsor of San Juan High School sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers students to gain the technical, business, or college skills necessary to enter the workforce. At San Juan County Adult Education, adult learners are given the opportunity to reach their personal, educational, and career goals. Students can earn a high school diploma, obtain a GED, increase their wage earning potential, and decrease barriers to self-reliance. To learn more, visit any USU Learning Center in San Juan County or email Gina Grover at jgrover@sjsd.org.
Back live to Hurricane High School as we begin the Friday Night Lights postgame show here on this Wednesday evening, and a 32-28 loss for the San Juan Broncos tonight. They fall to 8-2 on the season. In the RPI, that could bode or have some weight on it. There's a possibility the Broncos could drop to the number 2 spot after the loss tonight, but I'm not sure. The 3-6 record coming into this game for Hurricane also plays a factor, and then also maybe their opponents as well. So we'll just have to wait and see how things shake out. It's definitely possibly going to shake things up in the 2A ranks, but we will open the postgame show now and take a look at some stats, and we'll start it off with Hurricane, and it really was the Austin McRoberts show tonight. He had an 80-yard touchdown catch and ended up receiving 144 yards through the air tonight. He also ran the ball 8 times for 45 yards. Let's see. It was Connor Clyde also doing some work for Hurricane. 35 yards on 11 carries for the junior. He also had, he had 14 runs for 47 yards. My fault, he went into another column. C.J. Trump had 2 catches for 46 yards tonight and a touchdown catch. And let's see. From there then it was, we'll talk about the quarterback. We didn't mention Dylan Gabriel, who went out with injury, and you sure hope his injury is not that severe. But he was 8 of 11 tonight for 195 yards and 3 TDs. He also caught a touchdown catch, I'm guessing, from Brody Jacobs on that crazy trick play that they ran twice in this game. And one time it got him a touchdown, and the second time it ended the ball game when Cowan caught it from Brody Jacobs. And, boy, that was an exciting play that worked for Hurricane both times tonight. And as Art Adair mentioned, they were a perfect 2 of 2 on 4th down conversion tries tonight. Brody Jacobs, speaking of, ran the ball for -3 yards tonight, but like I said, I think he threw a touchdown pass, and he threw another pass to the second-string quarterback as well. He also caught the ball twice tonight for 5 yards, and one of those was a 2-yard touchdown catch. And I think that does it for the Hurricane stats. Let me move over to San Juan now. And for Jayton Knight, was just a little bit off his game right from the start tonight, and was unable to fully recover. He threw 2 interceptions tonight, but he did throw 1 touchdown pass in the fourth quarter, but he ended the night 21 of 37, which is well under his season average, but 295 yards unofficially passing tonight for Jagger. Jayton, not Jagger. Jayton Knight with the passing stats, and then he ran the ball 7 times for 19 yards as well. Jagger Neves had a good night tonight with 3 touchdown runs. 60 yards on 15 carries for him all total. Again, this is unofficial. He had 41 yards receiving on 4 catches tonight. J.D. Palmer got some good yardage for San Juan tonight, 65 yards on 10 carries. Among the receivers, Jake Ivins was strong tonight, 134 yards receiving on 8 catches. Owen Adams caught the touchdown pass tonight, 79 yards on 4 catches for him. Javen Montella had 3 receptions for 29 yards, and Branton Bethea caught 2 passes for 12 yards. And we are graciously joined now by head coach Barkley Christensen of the San Juan Broncos. And, Coach, I know this was a tough one tonight. I would say it was probably one that was in your grasp, and some mistakes tonight are what killed you guys.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like I said, I've told you before, when we play good teams, bigger teams, 4A football teams, 3A, your windows of mistakes are so small. I mean, and they'll only give you so much, and if you don't take advantage of opportunities, it kills you. I mean, we've got to execute. That was our theme this whole week, was execute. We knew nothing was just going to be given to us. And so we had to, you got to catch the football. We got to block a little bit better. We got to tackle. I got to call better plays. I mean, there's a lot of things we can all look in the mirror and say, hey, I could have been better here.
Well, it's a bitter pill to swallow tonight, obviously. How do you think this affects the team in the final game of the season, the regular season?
I don't think it will. I think after a loss, we'll bounce back better. It's a good opportunity to learn from, because hopefully, we get those out and then we play a lot better in the playoffs.
What are your thoughts just about the game tonight?
Again, just off emotion, I just thought we made too many mistakes, but I thought we played hard. I was proud of the way we played. We came out healthy, so that's a positive. There's positives. Just thought we just made too many mistakes, and again, it's not just the kids; it's coaching too. We could have obviously done a way better job preparing them, and getting them ready for these situations. We kind of knew what they were going to do. Come out and play a lot of man, pack the box, take the run away, and we got to be able to win one-on-ones and catch the football. So, I just think we made too many mistakes, and that's it.
Yeah, and sometimes the coaching portion of it is harder for us to see up here in the booth, but I think something to be said, and we've talked about it a couple times. It's more important how you bounce back from things like this, and in this case, I'm not even talking about the final score loss. I'm talking about Jayton Knight throws an interception that goes for a touchdown, and then he immediately drives the team down the field to answer that touchdown and retake the lead. So I know that you guys are excited to see that happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, these are kids, and they're resilient, and I'm proud of them. They're upset that they lost, and they know where they could have been better. But at the end of the day, they're tough kids, and, I respect and love the heck out of them for coming out here. How easy would it be to be sitting at home right now watching this game, right? I mean, these kids are dogs, they're warriors, and nothing but the utmost love and respect to any kid who dares play a man's game.
Are these the things that you told them on the field down here after the final buzzer, or what did you tell them?
Yeah, I just said, hey, we can learn from it. I mean, hate it tonight, but the worst thing we can do is blame everyone else. It's not anyone else's fault. We can all look in the mirror and say, hey, something we could have done, we all could have done better. But it's always tough after a loss because everybody, you kind of have a leg to stand on to blame this and this and this and this. But, we all just got to own it. And me as a head coach, I could have done a better job just getting them ready for this.
Well, you're going to have a bye week in the first round of the state tournament once again. What are you going to do in this coming 2-week period before you guys get on the field again for a game?
Well, we're going to obviously watch and learn from this, but the big thing is getting back in the weight room. We got to get strength back. You lose a little bit of strength. I mean, we lift during the season, but it's tough when you got a game every week. So we're going to hit the weight room really, really, really hard and get stronger to be ready to take on the postseason.
Yeah, you've got everybody just about in the state gunning for you guys. I think we saw that here tonight. Obviously, this is a big win for Hurricanes program, and we know they're well coached, and it's fun to come up against these tough teams that are coached well. I think it really stretches you, and these are the games that are fun despite the loss tonight for you guys.
Yeah, it was fun, and we're grateful. Last year they wouldn't schedule us, so we're grateful that this year they would play us. I think it's a good one to learn from. And like I said, one of the worries is coming over to a big 4A school because, again, their kids are just playing. I mean, they had the one kid playing both ways, but other than that, it's just, kids got offense, defense, and we're tired. We came out healthy. That's a big positive. So,
all right, Coach, we appreciate it. Tough loss tonight, but thanks for chatting with us, and we'll see you in a couple weeks for that home playoff game.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That is head coach Barkley Christensen of the San Juan Broncos as his team falls tonight in Hurricane by the final of 32-28. They were in the hunt, but tough personal foul penalty there with 5 minutes to go in the game really kind of ultimately sealed the deal against San Juan as Art Adair steps back into the mic now. And Art, I guess what are your closing thoughts here on this one before we sign out from Hurricane?
So I think I didn't hear all of Coach's interview, but I think, impressed with San Juan overall. It's just the little things sometimes that cost you in these big-time games. But at the same time, Rhett, I want to put it into perspective. This is a 2A team playing up to 4A football, and you don't see any other 2A teams doing that. It's just not done. And San Juan, they don't shirk away from that. They go looking for that fight, and they go looking for that opponent that's going to push them. And like Coach said, they'll watch film, they'll get back in the weight room, and they'll fix the little things. And the things that were mistakes tonight probably won't be mistakes in the 2A playoffs. They're just not going to, have those things. On the Hurricane side of the ball, a good team effort from them. They came out and they established what they wanted to do, and we knew they were going to run the ball, and we knew McRoberts was a threat down the field, and even when he was well covered, he still caught the ball. And at the end of the day, kudos to both teams. I sure hope that the quarterback for Hurricane can bounce back. I'm glad, like Coach said, no injuries on that side. You want to come in and win this game. As a football coach, you want to win every game. It don't matter if you're playing a 6A team. You want to go win that game. But at the end of the day, put it into perspective what this game was. And it's kind of a bookend. First of the season lost to a 3A team.
Yeah.
End of the season lost to a 4A
team. Yep.
But like I said earlier in the broadcast, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of the 2A playoffs. Nope. But what does those two what happened after they lost to Grantsville? man, this team
became the team they were.
Oh, they came back out more invigorated, more hungry, more optimistic, and they just came in around the gauntlet in the two-way, and no one could touch them. You're going to see a ticked off, because I have to do the G-rated version here, a ticked off bunch of kids over there rolling in 2 weeks to that home playoff game, and I feel bad for anybody that has to face them in the playoffs because of this right here. Yep. So you can say, hey, we lost, we got beat. You can feel bad, you can lick your wounds, but at the end of the day, this is going to drive them into that 4th state title.
Yeah, these are the same conversations we had after the loss to Grantsville, and obviously San Juan ripped their opponents, from that point on, and so I think it's a theme. And we know the Broncos will come out with a fury to start that state tournament here in a couple weeks.
One parting thing here, Rhett, and then I'll let you close it out. But the other thing that I'm very impressed with, that as a coach and coach with a lot of different people, I've seen a lot of things after games and how coaches react to losses and big losses like that. Not a big loss, but they had them 3rd down. You're going to put them in a punting situation. You have that personal foul.
Yep.
You could go over to those kids and you could chew them out.
Yep.
And you could ride them, and you could ride them for the penalty down here on the hit, out of the late hit on the quarterback give-up slide, and you could make those kids feel like they're this big. Mm-hmm. And but they don't do that. I mean, these San Juan coaches, I'm down there as they're in their huddle after the game, and they're just building these kids back up and letting them know how much they love them and telling them what fighters they are and and that's the kind of mentality as coaches you have to have, because these young kids can spiral downwards if you let them.
Yeah.
Especially after a tough battle like this was tonight for them. They want to come out here and make a statement and beat a 4A team. Didn't happen. But did they play a great game? Did they only lose by a few? You betcha. So you hang your hat on that and you move forward. But kudos to that coaching staff for not, because we can hear the coaches up above us, and they're throughout the game, they're pretty animated. Yeah. And the hometown kids over here keep looking up at the coaches because they can hear them up there. But after the game, they go to those kids and they show them an increased amount of love, and they go and they coach them. And they say, okay, this is what we did wrong. Let's get better at it. And they don't go point fingers, and I love that about this coaching staff.
Well, a tough loss tonight for San Juan, but like we said, they'll get in the weight room, they'll come back, they'll fix the problems, and they'll be on the playoff turf in a couple weeks at home. It'll be one final home game, and again, we don't know who it's going to be. The Broncos will have a bye in the first round, and then they'll be playing either on a Friday or Saturday in a couple weeks on the San Juan High School football turf one final time. That'll do it for us. Speaking of, here tonight from Hurricane High School, 32-28 final in favor of the hometown Tigers. I want to say thanks to all the sponsors for making it happen. And we'll thank you one final time by name here momentarily during the close. Thanks to the StreamUtah.Live crew tonight. And it's the original crew, Lane Palmer and Caleb Carr, the dynamic duo making it happen. They're busy cleaning up right now already, strapping me in the face with cables and just moving my stuff while we're trying to do the post game here out of control. Thanks to all the listeners and the viewers. You're the reason why we do this. And again, we'll be on the air in a couple weeks in the second round of the 2A Utah State Football Tournament. And until then, it's Rhett Sifford on behalf of Art Adair saying so long from Hurricane High School. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and StreamUtah.Live. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Bradford Tire, San Juan Building Supply, Blue Mountain Foods, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Colleen K's, San Juan School District Adult Education, Primary Residential Mortgage, Energy Fuels, Emory Telcom, Four Corners Homes, San Juan Pharmacy, Utah State University Blanding, Creative Floors, San Juan Counseling, Holiday Construction, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Red's Ace Hardware, San Juan Health, Four Corners Regional Care Center, Northern Electric, Dependable Auto Repair, San Juan Insurance, Precision Rehab, Red Mechanical, Flights Gymnastics, San Juan School District CTE Programs, Blue Mountain Hospital, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage and Tailor-Made Monuments, San Juan Public Health, Crowley Construction, Jones and DeMille Engineering, San Juan Mortuary, Napa Motor Parts, Utah Navajo Health System, San Juan Credit Union, and Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and StreamUtah.Live.